Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
As we continue on our pregame show here today from Langdon, it is the Langdon Area-Munich Cardinals going up against the Northern Cass Jags here in the opening round of the Division 1A football playoffs. Join us here from the Cardinals' perspective is their head coach, that's Josh Krvachka. Josh. Noon here again from Langdon. I'm Chase Miller. Welcome to our pregame show brought to you in part by Irie Insurance. The postseason is upon us here as the Jags and the Cardinals match up in the opening round of the North Dakota Division A playoffs. And today from Langdon, Northern Cass is making their first playoff appearance since 2019 and looking for their first playoff win since 2015 here for the Jags. Northern Cass are in the postseason spot with a 24-13 win against Valley City last Friday in Hunter. Sophomore Brooks Crockett leads the Jags with 36 receptions for 639 yards and 8 touchdowns on this season. While for Langdon Area-Munich, they're the number 1 overall seed here in the Division A playoffs with a 9-0 record, and they're another Region 2 regular season title to boot. Cardinals have made the playoffs in 10 consecutive seasons, and senior quarterback Jax Johnson has amassed over 2,300 total yards and 32 touchdowns here on the year. When we return, we'll go over our playoff matchups across the state, get to our starting lineups, and we'll get to our coaches' conversations as well with Tyler Ukestead and Coach Josh Krvachka. It's the Jaguars and the Cardinals with a spot in the Division A quarterfinals up for grabs tonight here on yourliveevent.com.
Look at your calendar. There's still time to complete those building projects before freeze-up. Cywick Lumber and Hardware in Hillsboro has everything you need, top quality building materials, trusted tools, and Midland garage doors. Yes, it's busy now with harvest, but don't wait. Order now to ensure your products arrive on time so your projects are done before the first flake falls. Visit with Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro and make your building projects plans a reality. Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro.
Winter is coming. Are you ready? At Agassi Sales, we'll help you build the snow removal fleet you need now. With Hyundai Construction Equipment Snow Lease Program, you'll get flexible financing, low monthly rates, and even the option of 6 months on, 6 months off. Plus, every machine is backed by our certified service department. Call Agassi Sales at 888-836-4029 or visit agassisales.com. Agassi Sales, your partner for power and reliability.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
As we continue on the Irie Insurance pregame show, taking a look at your out-of-town scoreboard here with games currently in action. Just 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Hillsboro Central Valley losing to the Thompson Tommies. Tommies with the safety and a touchdown as they lead 8-0 here with 2 minutes left to play in the opening half. Jake Berkmeyer has that for you here on yourliveevent.com in Hillsboro. Dickinson Trendy and Delax Burlington tied at 6 midway through the second quarter here in Division A. Also in A matchups later today, you have Park River Area going up against Lisbon in Park River. Brent Dick will have the call for you on that one. Opening kickoff is slated for 2 o'clock. Also today here in a matchup, EEK going up against Grafton. That one just kicking off. You also have Botno hosting Central McLean. That'll be at 2 o'clock in Botno. Velvet Garrison Drake and Moose, the defending champs, the number 2 seed, hosting Southern McLean. And then Killdeer is hosting Ray Powers Lake at Killdeer as well. Again, that is in 11A. For 9-man early scores, New Rockford, Shia Maddock all over Hatton Northwood, 44-0 in the first half of play. Rockets all over the Thunder. And Hankinson with the early 16-0 lead over North Prairie as well. Midway through the second quarter of play for the 5 seed of Hankinson and Linton HMB over Lewis and Clark 6-0. That game just getting underway. Those are, again, 9-man football playoff matchups here in this one. For the Cardinals, 9-0 on the season. Head coach is Josh Krvachka. Well, for Northern Cass, at 6-3 on the season. Head coach is Tyler Ukestead here for Northern Cass. These two teams matching up. And some notes in the recent meetings. The Cardinals won back on October the 8th of 2021 in the most recent matchup, in which Langdon Area-Munich was able to defeat Northern Cass 46-0. Last Northern Cass win in this series dates back to 2015, in which the Jags defeated Langdon Area-Munich. The Cardinals have won 6 straight here in the series, including playoff wins in 2019, 2016, and also a playoff win in 2012 as well. So that's a look at the matchup here today for the Cardinals and the Jags. When we return after this, we'll get to our starting lineups. But first, before then, we'll get to our coaches' conversation. We'll hear from Coach Josh Krvachka and alongside Tyler Ukestead, head of the opening kickoff here today on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll keep you apprised of what's going on in those 2A and 3A football matchups as well, starting up for next Friday. We'll get to that throughout the day as well. Nice sunny day here in Langdon. The wind that is blowing is going to be a crosswind here from the press box to the opposite 50 or behind the Northern Cass bench, so you're not going to be going with or punting against the wind. It'll be a crosswind here. We expect highs in the 60s by the time this afternoon is all said and done. The Jags in their white tops with their black pants with the black helmets, while for the Cardinals in their Cardinal red tops with the white pants with the white numerals and a Cardinal logo on either side here of the helmet. Quick break. We'll hear from Coach Krvachka, then head coach Tyler Ukestead around the corner here on our Irie Insurance pregame show.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out BearsHomeSolutions.com.
I'm Molly, and I have lived here a little over 3 years now. I like the open spaces here and being able to go in and out. I like the fact that I don't have stairs or elevators. I just have most everything that I need close at hand.
As we continue on our pregame show here today from Langdon, it is the Langdon Area-Munich Cardinals going up against the Northern Cass Jags here in the opening round of the Division 1A football playoffs. Join us here from the Cardinals' perspective is their head coach, that's Josh Krvachka. Josh, let's just start here. What's it mean for this club this season to come out of Region 2 and win the region as a regular season champ? And more importantly, have home field coming through a Langdon on your half of the bracket, being that top seed on your half of the bracket here, Josh.
Yeah, going into every year, our goal first and foremost is to be region champs, and to be able to accomplish that goal again this year. Just proud of the kids. you got to have a lot go right in football. You got to stay healthy. You have to have some quality football players, and you got to go perform every Friday night. And then, to top it all off, to make sure that the playoffs kind of run through Langdon, as long as we keep winning. That's always a good feeling because not saying anybody can't go win on the road, but it's a lot tougher in the playoffs. And the more playoff games you can get at home, it's just a lot more comfortable waking up on a Saturday morning and going up to the field than getting on a bus.
You go through this too as well. Your opponent in Northern Cache. Just take us through what you've seen on them here, Josh. What have you kind of heard from? That's going to be a matchup from what you guys do well, coming up here later tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just watching them on film, they seem to be a team that's improving throughout the year. Their quarterback is a good athlete that likes to spread the ball around to their athletes. Obviously, first and foremost, we want to stop number 8 for them. We feel like if we can slow him down and then be aware of where number 2 is always on the field, and then obviously anytime you're playing anybody, primary focus is to slow down their running game. So if we can make them one dimensional, that's always a big focus. And then defensively, they've been pretty solid. They've been limiting their opponents to whether it be 6, 12 points. Obviously EEK, which is they're a really quality football team, scored 28 on them. But overall, throughout the year, they've been playing in a lot of low-scoring football games, and so we got to make sure that we're sharp offensively to score on them. And they just create a lot of problems offensively and defensively. But we're excited about the matchup today, Chase.
Head coach for the Cardinals again, Josh Kravachka, with us here on the pregame show. Josh, every senior class is a little unique in and of itself, as you know, just like every team is a little bit. But what is a trait or characteristic that best describes this year's version for the seniors, for the Cardinals here?
Well, I can honestly say, Chase, in the last, we've made the playoffs the last 10 years and had some really good football teams. I would say the real funny part about this team is we are really run dominated at times. We've kind of always been, a pass happy team at times, people would say, but not saying we can't throw the ball around and stuff. But our quarterback runs the ball really hard, and our tailback and Sam Davis runs the ball really hard. And between them two, they almost got 1,000 yards, rushing. Each for us. And obviously we know that starts up front. Is our guys up front, we expect a lot out of them, and they're just a physical group that really get after it. And when you can have 2 quality backs that can provide that 1-2 punch, that's what makes us tough to beat.
I know we always talk about the opponent ahead of you, Josh, but as you mentioned, it's been a decade straight now for the Cardinals to make the playoffs. So I'll ask you to try to reminisce as best as you can as you obviously get ready for the Jakes here. But what does that just mean for this program for a decade straight to have success in the regular season and make it to the playoffs here? I know some folks will come in and say, hey, you know what? They got good athletes, good coaches, however it is. But at the end of the day, as you said, every year brings its own new unique challenges. And to do it 10 straight years, Josh, just kind of what does that mean from the program from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean it's a credit to the kids. Obviously, they put in a lot of time. Our culture is really good around here. They understand when it's football season what it's all about, and you got to have a lot of luck in the game of football throughout a season. There's been years we've been really good and stayed healthy and been really good, and then there's been years when we thought we were going to be really good and we got hit by the injury bug and had to sneak into the playoffs. So I mean, you just never know in the game of football, but the biggest thing is our kids are really disciplined football players that understand the game, and they love competing at a high level, and that's always fun to see as a coach.
Final thing that I'll ask you for you here, Josh, what's the one thing, and maybe you alluded to it already, but what's one thing you need to do well here today against the Jakes to get to that quarterfinal round matchup next weekend?
Well, we always talk about it in playoff football games and in most football games is most football games are not necessarily won, they're lost. And that we look at that in a lot of different aspects, but obviously taking care of the football, being really good on special teams, just getting big stops when you need to, being disciplined in what you do. There's not really one key area we look at. We just always look at that we got to be good in all these areas in order to win football games. And if we do that, we should have a pretty productive Saturday, Chase.
Hey, Josh, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck against Northern Cast coming up this afternoon.
All right, appreciate it.
And again, Coach Josh Kravachka with us here from Langdon Area-Munich for the Cardinals. We'll continue with more from Langdon after this here on our pregame show.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
New Solid Tech R floors deliver sustainable high performance from bottle to floor. They're PVC-free and made with natural stone and recycled single-use plastic for scratch-proof, flood-proof protection that stands up to all that your life demands. Because sustainability, beauty, and performance are at the heart of Solid Tech R floors.
Available at Carpet World, 17th Avenue South, online at carpetworldfargo.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Looking to tackle a big building project or a major fall cleanup? Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough has what you need. 40 dumpster roll-off boxes that are on hand, ready for rent. Need building materials? They'll deliver everything you need for your project and bring the dumpster at the same time for maximum convenience. If it's time for fall cleaning, rent a large dumpster and clear out your space with ease. For rentals of your dumpsters and building needs, your one-stop shop for your projects, Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough.
Joined us now from Northern Cast, the head football coach, on our coaches conversation leading into the opening kickoff here of the opening round of Northern Cast and Langdon Area-Munich in the Division A football playoffs. Joining us here from Northern Cast's perspective is Tyler Ukestead. And Uke, as you get ready to take a look at this Langdon Area-Munich Cardinal team, a lot of folks have probably remembered the Romfos of the world, so to speak, for the Cardinals and what they did offensively. I guess how much has Langdon changed from your perspective from, 5-6 years ago? Or is it they got a program, they got a style, and you just know what's coming down the track, so to speak, here, Uke?
Yeah, nothing's changed. Since I've known Langdon and watched Langdon, when I was with Dover, my first year in Oaks, scouting against them the first round of playoffs with the team we had, and then just kind of watching them throughout the years at the Dakota Bowl and in the playoffs. It's all the same stuff. And I mean, credit to Coach Kravachka. They're really good at what they do. And I think at the high school level, if you can find something that you can be really good at, you better stick with that. Like, obviously, you know how to coach it. The kids know how to play in it. So credit to them. And they just breed good football players. And I know there's still another Ronfro up there. He plays tight end, D lineman. So they definitely have some Ronfro still, but they got a lot of good football players as well. And that helps. So.
You go just for your team, I guess. What is something that best describes, if no one has seen Northern Cast football this year or has the opportunity to come out to the playoff game, I guess the question would be, what do you want them to take away when they watch your team on the football field, for 4 quarters of football?
Honestly, the biggest thing is kind of how we play defense. I think our defense has kind of been our strength all season, stopping the run, being able to limit explosive plays. We kind of got to get back to limiting those explosive plays this week, especially. We kind of struggled the past 2 weeks a little bit, giving up a couple against Eek and a couple against Valley that shouldn't happen, that were just due to some misalignment things and some other things that we haven't done all year. So I think definitely kind of like our defensive side of the ball and just how we're just tenacious with all 11 kids getting to the ball. There's white jerseys everywhere, relentless effort, that kind of thing.
Tyler Ukestead, head football coach from Northern Cast, joining us. You get to hit on the road. You've already been to Botno. Now let's go right next to the border one more time with Langdon here, Uke. But what's the one thing as you get ready for this particular week that you get an extra day to prep? So how do you as a coaching staff, how do you as a team try to take advantage of that, getting ready for a playoff game? Yes, the Cardinals are in the same, boat as you as well, getting an extra day during out the week here, Uke. But how do you take advantage of, an extra practice day as you get ready for the Cardinals?
It's a little weird because, we did a book study this year with our kids, and one of the things was talking about routines. And when you have this extra day, it kind of ruins that routine, right? That we've had all season, where Mondays is this, Tuesdays is this, Wednesdays is this. So it's a little bit different. We're kind of taking the approach where Monday we're going to be really kind of laid back. We're going to watch Valley film, go to the weight room and lift, and then get the kids out, go home. So we should be out about around 5 p.m. And then Tuesday is kind of when we're going to start our normal week. So Tuesday is going to be a little bit shorter than our normal Mondays, just because we're splitting it Monday and Tuesday this week, but we kind of want to keep that same routine. So Tuesdays are Monday, Wednesday will be our Tuesday practice, Thursday will be our Wednesday practice, and Friday will be our normal Thursday practice, just to kind of stay in that same routine. Just so the kids know what to expect. They're used to it, and give us our best chance to play as well as we can on Saturday.
For you, what's the one thing you have to do well against the Cardinals to get this game in the fourth quarter and try to come away with the road victory?
Now, I'm going to give you two things. First thing is limit explosive plays on D. Make them run another play. That's going to be Coach Myers' mantra all week with our defense. And then on offense, we just got to keep Langdon's offense off the field. We got to consistently move the ball, get a couple first downs. If it doesn't result in points, as long as we can get a couple first downs, kind of run the clock down, flip the field position, and again, make them run another play on D. I think we'll have the ability to score points at times. I think where Langdon's really dangerous is those explosive plays that result in touchdowns. So if we can do that, I think it should be a fun, competitive game.
Final thing that I have for you, Uke, before we let you go, from a Northern Cass perspective, this senior class, this team to make the postseason again. But what do you think the senior class has laid down, for future generations of Northern Cass football players going forward, no matter what the outcome is the rest of the playoffs here for the Jags?
Yeah, credit to our senior class. I think this was a class when they were younger that were kind of counted out in athletics. And I don't think there was a lot of people outside of our coaching staff and player room that thought that we were going to have the season we did and have the success we did. And just credit to those seniors and their leadership. I think they've laid the foundation of here's how we win football games. Here's what we need to do, whether it's off-season work, whether it's the little tiny things of, hey, we don't show up late to practice. Hey, we get our schoolwork done. Just the little things that we have consistently coached on and tried to get their kids to buy into. They're finally 100% bought into everything, and it's been really, really fun to coach these seniors: Caden Williams, Chris Hoyland, Parker Zetsky, Anders Hubdeness. They're four kids that have been through our program since freshmen, and they've been getting their kind of butts kicked in games. So it's been fun to kind of flip the switch a little bit for them. And they definitely left the mark, and you're gonna see it years down the road, I bet.
Hey, Uke, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck against the Cardinals here in the opening round of the playoffs.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.
Tyler Ukestead, head coach for Northern Cass, will continue with more coming up around the corner here on our pregame show.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
And Again, as our coaches' conversations with head coach of Northern Cass, Tyler Euxton, alongside head coach for the Cardinals of Josh Krvachka as well. Northern Cass and Langdon Area-Munich here today in the opening round of the Division A football playoffs. Chase Miller with you here from Langdon. The Cardinals won the toss and elected to defer, so we will see Northern Cass's offense here out to start the game here for the Jags. Northern Cass averaging 19 points per game offensively, defensively giving up 13 points per contest, while for the Cardinals averaging 37.5 points per contest defensively, giving up just under 7 points per game. And also, a note, congratulations goes out to Owen Johnson of Northern Cass. He won the B-Boy State Championship in Jamestown yesterday in the cross-country meet at State. So congratulations one more time goes up to Owen Johnson, as the Jags will have a state champion in-house here when it comes to cross-country. Northern Cass 6-3 on the season. Well, for the Cardinals, again, they sit at 9-0. Last playoff appearance for the Jags back in 2019. Well, for the Cardinals, they have been to this particular postseason in 10 consecutive seasons here for the Cardinals. In this one, we'll take a quick break. We'll continue with more after this. Starting lineups, that and more still to come here on our pregame show. Brought to you in part by Irie Insurance. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service that you deserve at Irie Insurance. They cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance. Go to Irie Insurance website at irieins.com to get a free quote started today.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Imagine your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
It's now time to get to our starting lineups here. First for Northern Cass on this Saturday afternoon here from Langdon. The Jags, again, we'll start with the football. They'll go like this. At a left tackle, the junior at 6'3", 200 pounds is Luke Walski. The left guard is Jackson Sinclair, a 6'3" junior at 330. Center of Brody Vanderwall, the 6'3" junior at 250. From there at the right guard is Caden Williams, the senior at 6 foot, 250 as well. And Aiden Dixon, the right tackle, the sophomore at 195 at right tackle. Tight end of Brooks Crockett, a 5'9" sophomore. He has 8 receiving touchdowns of the season. Hunter Kemet, a 6'1" junior at 165. Chris Hoyland, a senior at 6'1", 180. Hoyland with 2 receiving touchdowns on 22 grabs this year. Miles Freilich, the 5'9" senior at 150. Parker Zeski, the 5'9" senior in the backfield. So far, 4 rushing touchdowns, averaging 4.5 yards per pop. And then Hudson Rachel, the 6'1" junior, has thrown for a single season and also career school record here. That is a career school record in passing here for Rachel. 1,387 yards so far this season with 13 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. From there to the Cardinals defense, they'll go like this up front on the defensive line spot of Theo Romfel, the 6'3" senior at defensive end. Also with Devin Hawkinson, a 5'9" defensive end senior, junior as well. Landon Schneider at D tackle with Braxton Lingsteth, another D tackle. Linebackers of Jack Johnson, Dawson Downs, and Keaton Olliott here for the Cardinals, with secondary of Maddox Stremick and TJ Henderson in the secondary, with safeties of Easton Schaefer and Sam Davis as well. Take a look at the single A playoff bracket. The winner of this contest will play the winner of Hillsborough, Central Valley, and Thompson. You can catch the second half with Jake Berkemeyer and alongside Brady Siebels on your live events with that game in Hillsborough. Taking a look at the half, Thompson 8, Hillsborough, Central Valley 6. So again, that's the winner of this game will play the winner of that contest. And if the Cardinals win, they have home field throughout the postseason. If the Jags were able to pull off the upset, they would either go to Thompson or Hillsborough Central Valley next week. Also here in 1A football playoffs on yourliveevent.com, you have Lisbon at Park River area. Brent Dick on the call for you on that one for high school playoff coverage. Also some games that are currently in action. Dickinson Trendy and Deluxe Burlington tied at 6 after one half of play. EEK, Ellendale Edgeley Column 6, Grafton 6 late in the first quarter. We'll keep you apprised of all those scores as it continues. Again, that's our starting lineups brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. Live the sweet life with great careers, quality products, grower owned. Go to crystalsugar.com. Back with the opening kickoff. That is next here in Langdon. It's the Jags and the Cardinals for opening round North Dakota Division A playoff football here on yourliveevent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
Catch all the action of the fall postseason for Minnesota and North Dakota high school football and volleyball on yourliveevent.com. Going down the field, it's picked off here from Kindred. Tanning Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six for
Takes it up, played high in the air by Horkin. Here's risky left side off of a touch. Kept alive Thornton. Now played high. Angle, Severson, smash! Count, good!
Check out the postseason schedule on yourliveevent.com.
Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough is completing post-frame buildings 80 by 80, 80 by 160, even 80 by 200. Need an addition or shop reskin? Cywick Lumber and Hardware has all materials. They'll complete to your customized building requests. Bifold doors, hydro doors for farm buildings, and metal sailed steel for durable construction. Whether it's new, an addition, or a repair, every building project can be done with Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough. All materials, all in one place. Visit or call Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough.
At Northern Cass, we believe every learner has the power to change the world, and we're here to help them do just that. That's why we're not your average school district. We deliver a world-class education built on trust, authentic relationships, and bold, innovative practices that prepare learners for whatever path they choose. From our passionate educators to our close-knit community, everything we do is rooted in purpose, connection, and a belief in every learner's greatness. Come see what makes Northern Cass a place where learners thrive, both in and out of the classroom. Learn more at northerncasschool.com.
It's now time to get ready for the opening kickoff here today from Langdon. Chase Miller with you. A spot in the North Dakota Division A quarterfinals is up for grabs here between the Jags and the Cardinals. We take a look at our current weather conditions. It is a sunny day. Winds making their way cross field. Again, a cross-field wind from left to right, as that will be gusts anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more than that as this one continues as well. But no snow to have to worry about, no rain. All things considered, a pretty nice day for one of the final Saturday here in the month of October. So for Northern Cass, they will open up with the football here offensively, as putting this one on the tee here will be the quarterback as well for the Cardinals with Jack Johnson. Opening kickoff here with Johnson at 2:03. He'll be kicking it from right to left here for the Cardinals as the right-footed end-over-end kick is underway as this one gets picked up at the 27-yard line. That'll be by Lee. Lee then gets to about the 30-yard line and keeps moving a little bit there, and that's where Northern Cass will have the football. So the Jags will open it up here on the opening quarter, as they will be at their own 30-yard line to open this first drive of the contest. For Northern Cass, averaging 300 yards offensively with 172 yards passing. For the Cardinals defense, giving up just 6.7 points per game. They've recorded 3 shutouts for Langdon Area-Munich when only 2 teams have scored in double digits here against the Cardinals, with Rugby scoring 12 and Park River scoring 22 has been their season most. Shotgun formation, trips near sideline, one to the left-handed side. Cardinals a 4-down lineman, QB keeper on the way as this one goes to Rachel, and Rachel bouncing his way past the left side for a first down here for the Jags. Got behind Vanderwall and Sinclair on the left side of the line. That's going to be a gain of 11 and first down here for Northern Cass. So one play, one first down, something that Coach Tyler Eukstead said in our pregame show. Two things that they had to do well against the Cardinals: limit explosive plays when the Jags are on defense, but when they're on offense, even if they don't score, try to move the ball, flip the field here, and use your offense as your best defense at times, as this will be now in a little bunch close to the field. With it, little option play. This goes right up the middle for a couple of yards. They brought Freilich in the backfield. They gave it to Zeski. Zeski gets a couple on the play for about a gain of 2. Zeski gets 2 yards. Cardinals did a good job just meshing that one in the middle defensively with Linset Downs and company there for the Cardinals as he brought on that little orbit motion from the right slot into the backfield there with Freilich. Brings up a 2nd down and 8 upcoming here just 1 minute into this contest, opening drive of the game. As they will go twins to the right, one to the left-handed side. Cardinals 4-down lineman. They will hand this one off. Zeski trying to bounce the outside. The Cardinals were having none of it. Nicely done by Theo Ramfo as he got by his man, got him for a tackle for a loss. That'll be a loss of 5. So 3rd down and long on the way there as Zeski was trying to bounce his way, but a 6'3 Ramfo set the edge on the near sideline right in front of the Cardinal bench and wrapped him up, as that'll now bring up a 3rd down and long here for the Jags. So 3rd down and about 15 upcoming. They will need the Cardinal 49 for a first. So after 3 straight on the ground, we'll see what the Jags do here. Trips to the left, one to the near sideline. Cardinals, they will bring 4. Rachel has some time to throw. Looking to the near sideline. Rachel fires. This will be caught at the 50 to Crockett. Depending on the spot, they will mark him out at the 50. 1 yard shy of the first. It's a gain of 14, but a flag back at the 33-yard line. So right now it would be 4th and 1, barring the penalty here. And this will be our first penalty of the game for either club. And Coach Josh Kravachka immediately says, point him back. Don't give the Jags a chance on 4th and 1. Move them back and make it 3rd and 25 upcoming. That was a really good play by Rachel. Saw the pocket collapse a little bit, rolled to near sideline. Had him on a crossing pattern there with Brooks Crockett for a gain of 14. Nearly got the first, but instead the first penalty, a costly one from a Northern Cass perspective, as it'll push him back all the way to the 26-yard line. Trips left, twins to the near sideline. Cardinals see this here with 4-down linemen. Rachel, screen. This one makes its way to the 30-yard line. That'll be Hoyland. Hoyland gets to the 35. Able to get a couple of those yards back for a gain of 10. As Chris Hoyland on the quick little screen gets 10 yards. A safe call from a Northern Cass perspective there. Trying to get some bodies out in front of them. Cardinals able to play it in front as they will see it now for the first punt of the contest. Easton Schaefer stands back at his 35-yard line. On the punt here will be the aforementioned Hoyland for Northern Cass. Clean snap. Hoyland, right-footed kick, just gets off before it was potentially blocked. Takes a Jaguar bounce inside the 30 towards the 25-yard line. Not a bad punt to flip the field here from a Northern Cass perspective, and that's where Langdon Area-Munich will take over here in their first drive of the contest. That'll be with 9:09 left to play here in quarter number 1, as this will start back at the right at the 25-yard line here for the Cardinals. So last drive for Northern Cass. Able to see it go for 4 plays before eventually they had to punt the football away, as the Cardinals, a team that's averaging 37.5 points per game with 395 yards of total offense, with 238 coming on the ground here, going up against a Jags defense that gives up 13 points per game. This one going to be thrown into the wind, slipping a little bit at the 30, then stretching on his way is Schaefer. Schaefer is going to make his way past the 30 to about the 32 for a gain of 7 on the play. Cardinals up front with Dawson Downs at left tackle, the sophomore at 5'11". Devin Hawkinson, the left guard, with Landon Schneider at center. Colton Hyen, the right guard, and then you have Keaton Elliott at right tackle. We'll also get to the rest of the starting lineups here for both Northern Cass and the Cardinals after this play. 2nd down. On the way here for Jax Johnson, the 6'2 senior at 200 pounds. He'll hand it on the QB keeper, getting his way past the right-handed side, and Johnson gets past the 35 to the 39-yard line for a gain of 7. Tight end of Theo Romfo with Easton Schaefer, Stremick, and McDonald, all wide receivers. Davis, the fullback, and Johnson again, the QB. Guys up front here for the Jags is Luke Walski with 8 sacks in a season as a school record here for Northern Cass. Caden Williams and Brody Vanderwell, the 3 up front. We'll get to linebackers in the secondary after this play. Jax Johnson, a little bit of everything. 32 total touchdowns here on the season, and he just has over 1,000 yards rushing after that last rush on the year as well. This will be a handoff to Davis. Davis makes his way past the 40 to about the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 on the play here for Davis. Linebackers of the Jags for Parker Zeski with Trevor Lee, leading tackler with 63, and Brooks Crockett right behind him at 62 on the inside linebacker spot with Carter Gramlin here on the outside linebacker. Freilich and Kemet, the corners, with safeties of Hoyland and Brody Zeski here for the Jags. Second down and manageable so far for the Cardinals, gains of 7, 5, and 7 yards respectively as it brings up a second down. Johnson, QB keeper, one more time up the middle, gets the first down past Crockett and some as he gets wrapped up on the way by Freilich past the 45 to the 44-yard line as it goes from 144 to the nearly other 44-yard line. As it'll be a gain on the play of 13 yards. 2 carries for 20 yards on the way here for Jax Johnson. Between him and Davis, 2 guys that have a chance to amass over 1,000 yards rushing. Johnson already has that. Davis needed 75 yards coming in to amass 1,000 yards. On the ground, up and over, pass will be incomplete as they were looking for Davis on a screen to get a convoy out in front of him. And on the coverage there was Kemet, and it'll make it now second down and 10 on the way here for the Cardinals. First drive of the ball game, high school football today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Share their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. As the Jags had to punt on their opening drive. What do the Cardinals have in store here for a second down and 10? Motion man right to left is McDonald. Handoff. This one will go to Davis. Davis going to get met up in the hole, and that'll bring up a third down and 8. Good tackle on the way with Trevor Lee and Parker Zeski there defensively. And it's a couple yards here for the Cardinals. Third down upcoming here after the 2-yard gain for Davis. But really good flying around defensively there for the Jags, particularly past the left tackle and left guard there for Lee and Zeski to get in the hole and make a stop. Couple more yards, though, for the Cardinals. Could be very much so 4-down territory as they will go off center here with Davis. Third down and 8 on the way for Johnson. Johnson has time, then gets pressured. This one is going to be batted down, incomplete. They were looking for Schaefer, the defensive back there is Hoyland on the coverage. They got home quickly. That forced Johnson to make the pass. It brings up a 4th down. Also, as this game continues, your quarterback is your punter as well from a Cardinal point of view here for Coach Krvachka. For the Cardinals coming in after a win over Grafton 42-0 to finish off the regular season 9-0. Well, for Northern Cass, they had it. A win against Valley City, 24-13 in Hunter to clinch their playoff appearance here today in Langdon. 4th down here for the Cardinals at their own 41, looking to go for it. Johnson going to roll the pocket to the near sideline. Johnson steps up. That one's going to be incomplete. It was tipped at the line here on the way by Parker Zeski as he tipped it on the attempt there from Jax Johnson. That'll be a turnover on downs. So the Cardinals will give the ball back to the Jags, and the Jags make a defensive stop here. Get your hands up in the air, and that's exactly what Zeski was able to do, Parker. And that makes it now 1st and 10 here for Northern Cass at the 41-yard line. So a good drive for both teams that stalls out after an opening 1st down, both from the Cardinals' perspective and now as well from the Jags' perspective here, as Northern Cass will see their second crack at it here offensively. Twins still left, one in the near sideline. Now they will motion a couple of guys in the backfield, and we'll see if we get a timeout here. Yes, we do. Coach Ukstead saw both come in motion. He calls timeout. We'll break with them. On the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, we're scoreless midway through the first quarter.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
High school football today here on YourLiveEvent.com. Timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. See what values-based banking can do for you at Bank North. First time out of the game again for Northern Cass. 6:09 left to play here in the opening quarter. Jags will motion. In that orbit motion again, they will look to hand this one off. Zeski's going to bounce out of a couple of tacklers, and so far the Cardinals' defense wrapping up Parker pretty well on the interior, particularly by Devin Hawkinson on the play, and that maybe will even be almost a half yard on a loss. Zeski so far 3 carries for -3 yards. As Northern Cass trying to see between Sinclair, Vanderwall, and Williams on that last one, see if they can get a little push and get north to south here. Brings up 2nd and 10. Jags trying to get a ground game rolling here against the Cardinals early in this first quarter. As motion goes left to right, the sophomore and Brooks Crockett, as that'll be a bunch to the near sideline. Reachel going to play action. Cardinals getting home. Reachel, though, makes the throw down the field, incomplete at the 30-yard line to Chris Hoyland. Cardinals got their Reachel cut, made a step up through the pocket, and nearly avoided a sack, and he was able to get that ball out of harm's way, make it 3rd and 10. Hoyland did beat the coverage, but by the time he looked back to Reachel, then he really had to turn it into 4th gear to get up the field, and the Cardinals dodge an explosive bullet from a Jags perspective, but you could easily say the Jags dodged a 10-yard maybe sack on the play by Reachel getting out of the pocket. So 3rd down and 10 with 5:20 left to play in the opening quarter. Scoreless here in the opening round of the North Dakota Division A football playoffs. Twins both left and right. Cards will bring 4. Reachel has time, goes down the field. This one will be at the 35-yard line, incomplete on the far side as the intended receiver was Parker Zeski, and it brings up a 3 and out. So Jags defense gets the stop, and a 3 and out here for Northern Cass offensively will allow the Cardinals to get the ball back here in the opening quarter. As Hoyland goes back to his own 30-yard line, coming back here for the Cardinals, returning this one will be Schaefer. Hoyland, right-footed kick in the air, end over end. This one will take a Jags bounce inside the 20 to the 15, and that'll roll to about the 13-yard line. So a good punt one more time here for Chris Hoyland to flip the field from the 41 inside the 15. It's a 3 and out, but one thing that the Jags have done, get field position here so far in this opening quarter. Chase Miller with you here from Langdon on YourLiveEvent.com as the second drive here for the Cardinals, as they will spot this one at the 13-yard line. So the Cardinals will come out. One wide receiver to the right. Twins the near sideline as McDonald motions now left to right. Johnson will keep this one on the boundary to the far side. Leaps a man to the 20, and Johnson gets taken down at about the 21, as that'll be a gain of nearly 8 yards. Johnson, 3 carries for 28 yards so far. He's 1 of 4 through the air for 7 yards. Davis, 2 carries for 7 yards on the ground. Round behind Colton and Elliott here at right tackle and right guard. 2nd and 2 for the Cardinals in this pistol formation with Davis behind Johnson. Hand off, that one goes to Davis, makes a cut on the interior, gets the first down to the 30, fumbles the football, it's on the turf. Northern Cass says they have it. The question is, did the ground cause the fumble? And the officials will say, yes, it did. That'll be a gain on the way to the 30-yard line, as it'll make its way for a healthy gain of about 8 yards. Northern Cass was jumping up and down as if they got the football, but they'll say Davis was down on the turf, and that'll keep the Cardinals with the rock here at the 30-yard line. Nearly 8 minutes into our opening quarter, scoreless on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Trip still left-handed side here for the Cardinals. Johnson looking near sideline, fires into the boundary. That'll be caught by McDonald at the 35, and he will bring a Northern Cass Jag with him on the outside there to Parker Zeski. That'll be complete to the 37-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7. First catch of the afternoon here for Tanner, now 19 catches for 267 yards offensively for the Cardinals. They put 2 deep in the pattern, just rolled underneath McDonald on the boundary, and that's how he got open. Good play call from Coach Kravachka, brings up 2nd down and 3. Shotgun formation, Johnson, handoff, Davis. Davis makes his way into the 40 and now to the 41-yard line, as that'll be a gain of 4 yards on the way here for Davis. Good push up front so far from Schneider and Hawkinson on that play at the center and the left guard as well. Northern Cass got off the football field on a turnover on downs on the first possession, and the Cardinals had it at the 25. Cardinals here started at the 13 and already at their own 41-yard line. Getting some chunk plays in consecutive order here for the Cardinals as they want a timeout. We'll break with them as well. Coach Kravachka with his first timeout here in Langdon. Cardinals with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line when we return.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Both teams with an opening Bank North, a timeout here in the opening quarter. The winner of this game has Thompson and Hillsborough Central Valley after 3 quarters of play. Thompson 8, Hillsborough Central Valley 6. That game going on in Hillsborough with Jake Berkmeyer and Brady Siebels, also on yourliveevent.com. We'll keep you prizes. That one got underway at 1 o'clock here this afternoon. This just after the 2 o'clock hour. Trips to the right-handed side. As you see Johnson hand off to Davis. Davis gets the numbers at the 45. Fumbles the football. It's on the turf. Northern Cass at the 49 says they have it, and they do. It's a fumble by Langdon Area-Munich, as getting on the football here is Mr. Trevor Lee for the Jags, and they force the first turnover of the game. So fumble here for the Cardinals, and that'll put the Jags in business at midfield at the 49-yard line. 3:28 left here in this opening quarter play, as they'll handle it now and getting on the football immediately right before it went out of bounds was Lee. Another bounce that could have been staying with Langdon Area-Munich, but the Jags force a turnover. Now the question is, can they convert against this Cardinals defense? Cardinals bring 4. They get the ball out quickly. That'll go to Hoyland. Hoyland gets past the 45 to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7 for the Jags, and it makes it 2nd down and 3. Hoyland, 2 catches for 17 yards. Just a quick little curl route here for Northern Cass, getting the ball out quickly, and brings up a 2nd down. In the first 2 drives, the Jags were looking to establish the running game here on 1st down, going 5 wide and using the passing game for their advantage. 2 wide receivers, both to the left and the right. As we'll see it here for Rachel, as Freilich motioning left to right across the formation. Handoff goes to Zeski. Zeski makes a cut, and the Cardinals will wrap him up for about a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. Gets a little bit closer in a 3rd and 1. So Zeski 2 yards on the gain. 4 carries for a loss of 1, but the Jags with it between the hashes at about the 43-yard line. Need that 42 for a 1st down. So far, 3rd drive of the game for Northern Cass, 5th combined between these 2 teams. As who's going to strike first blood? Northern Cass is playing a lot of 4-quarter games and low-scoring games here throughout Region 1 this season. Whether it's been against EEK, Hillsborough Central Valley, whoever it's been, they've played a lot of 4-quarter style ball games here for Northern Cass. As Freilich will motion in the backfield. Keeping this one is going to be Rachel. He pitches it off to Freilich. Freilich gets the 42, and really good defense here for the Cardinals with Stremick, and alongside with him with Jax Johnson getting there, and I'm not sure that Freilich got the 1st down. The Cardinals did about everything you could ask for defensively on that play. They took away the dive. They took away the quarterback option. They flipped it to Freilich. Looked like he maybe had a little crease, but Johnson and Stremick just came in and beelined him right at the numbers on the near hash, or the near sideline. Brings up a 4th down. Northern Cass going to go for it here. 4th and 1. They need 1 solid yard here for the Jags. They will trip to left-handed side. Play clock gets down to 5. Trying the hard count here. We got a flag. Who moved? Was it Northern Cass? And nope, they're going to say it's on the Cardinals here with our VAR official. And this will be the first penalty of the game here for the Cardinals of 5 yards, and it gives Northern Cass a 1st down as well, as they will mark it off. So a penalty will allow Northern Cass to handle it here inside the 40 as they're moving the football from left to right after that fumble, now to the 37-yard line. Northern Cass out in their black helmets today, Jags in cursive across the front with a gold trim, as the Jags will see it here. A little unbunch formation. They're going to throw the quick screen out to the far side, and the Cardinals are ready for it. And that will be a flag as well coming in late, as this one went to Freilich. It's a loss of 3. They put about 4 guys in front of them with the convoy to left-handed side. Then the flag came out right when the play went off. And a lot of times you might think this one might be in terms of the offense of where the penalty could be, maybe not having enough guys on the line. Also saw a substitution coming in a little bit late as well. Currently it's a loss of 3 unless you get the penalty, as this will be against Northern Cass on the legal procedure. Penalty will be declined, so it's a loss of 3 yards on the play. So give it to Freilich with the catch. They were trying to run the screen play on the far side, get some offensive linemen in front, and so far the difference in this game, at least when Northern Cass has the football, is that linebacker and secondary spot. They got some speed here for the Cardinals, and they are hammering it down in a very short order. High school football here on yourliveevent.com. As with it here, as Rachel able to get back to the original line, gets about 4 yards before he steps out of bounds. As he's going to get a couple of the yards back here for the Jags, but he'll still bring up a 3rd and a long 10. So just inside that 3rd and 10 clock. We'll stop here with about 18 seconds left to play in this first quarter, as Northern Cass in 4-down territory here, unless you get a sack with where they're kind of at right now in no man's land, as they handle it with trips to the near sideline. And you got 1 to left. Jags, when they've been able to spread out the Cardinals, see if they get a quick little hitter here. If they try to run the ball one more time, they will hand this one off to Zeski. Zeski trying to go up the middle as he gets wrapped up at the feet by Devin. Hawkinson will come in on the tackle. Zeski gets a gain of about 2, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard here today from Langdon, we're scoreless. It'll be 4th down and 7 when we return here on yourliveevent.com.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of water.
No, 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 no! Jeez Louise!
This system is packing 70-mile-per-hour winds, golf ball-sized hail, and a fast drop in temperature.
Oh, jeez. Dave and Cheryl's kitchen started on fire.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez, let's take a look.
Oh, geez, moments happen. Be ready with Irie Insurance.
For nearly 40 years, West Main Pizza has been serving up hot, delicious pizzas and other favorites, like sub sandwiches, calzones, chicken wings, pasta dishes, paninis, and more. With 2 locations on East Main in Ada and the Rail District in Dilworth, we offer dine-in, takeout, and online ordering at westmainpizza.net. Discover more than just pizza at West Main Pizza in Ada and the Rail District in Dilworth, your neighborhood favorite since 1986.
High school football today here in Langdon as we head to the second quarter here in the opening round of the Division A football playoffs. 4th down and 7 for the Jags at the Cardinals' 34-yard line. Reichel rolls the pocket, steps, throws incomplete, looking for the intended receiver, Hoyland, on an out pattern for about 15. Hoyland was open, and Rachel just overthrew it, and that'll make it a turnover on down. So the Cardinals defense bows up after a fumble offensively here. And for the Jags so far here on this one, it has been the punt, and a turnover on downs, and this will be the third possession here for the Cardinals in their first of this second quarter. Starting at the 25, 13, and 34-yard line so far here for the Cardinals. 5 with their 6th possession of the game upcoming. Johnson rolling. They will step up, fire. That'll go to Rumpho on the near side. Gets a screen and daylight in front of him. Rumpho gets the 40, gets back to the 30, and he gets taken down at the 21, but a flag comes out at the 43-yard line. As this on the screen was set up perfectly to flip the field, but this one going to be coming back with where it stands. Either a hold or possibly a cut block on the way at the 43, and Coach Kravachka not happy about that one here, as that'll negate the play on the way of about 50 yards. Instead, we'll bring it back from the spot of the foul at the 42-yard line. As this will be a hold, this will be his second penalty for the Cardinals for 15 yards, and bring it back and essentially be back to a first down and 10 yet again, as that was thrown right at the sticks. So back to a 1st and 10 here for the Cardinals. They set up the screen really nice. They moved Johnson to the left. They came back to the near sideline then and threw it to Rumpho. They set it up perfectly, but instead it will go back to a 1st and 10. As they will motion to the left goes Sam Davis as Johnson back in that shotgun. QB keeper here right up the middle. Johnson plowing his way past the 42, the 41, and they'll mark it down at the 42-yard line for a gain of 8. Johnson so far with carries of 7, 13, 8, and 8 respectively here for the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, when they get that QB keeper moving, they open up an alley in the interior here of this Northern Cats defense. 2 wide receivers left, one in the near sideline in the gun again. Davis will make his way to the right of the line. More of an up man here. They will do it one more time as Johnson on the QB power game going to left-handed side. Coming in on the tackle is going to be Chris Hoyland. They'll give it to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6 here for Johnson. Just keep on letting your quarterback go left and letting your quarterback go right as you kind of go through it a little bit, and you're getting 5, 6, 7 yards respectively. You're hoping those will break out into 10, 15, 20-yard plays if you're the Cardinals, and it goes back to what Coach Ukstead said, trying to minimize the big explosive plays here against Langdon Area-Munich. Play action, Johnson in the gun, throwing down the middle of the field. That one is going to be caught by Schaefer. Schaefer makes a man miss, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. That goes 52 yards on a pass from Johnson to Schaefer, his 7th receiving touchdown of the season. Schaefer with his 2nd catch for 59 yards and a touchdown. Johnson had time in the pocket, stepped up a deep pattern that went towards the post at the 35, and then after that, Schaefer did the rest as he was able to evade a block and get in the end zone for a 52-yard touchdown connection. And the first points on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard goes to the Cardinals. As coming on here will be Johnson for the PAT. The right-footed kick is up, and the right-footed kick is good. With 10:32 left to play in the first half, the Cardinals lead it by 7 on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Look at your calendar. There's still time to complete those building projects before freeze-up. Cywick Lumber and Hardware in Hillsboro has everything you need, top quality building materials, trusted tools, and Midland garage doors. Yes, it's busy now with harvest, but don't wait. Order now to ensure your products arrive on time so your projects are done before the first flake falls. Visit with Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro and make your building projects plans a reality. Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro.
A 66-yard drive, 4 plays, the penalty which negated the first one, then a couple of rushes on the way by Johnson, and the big hit Johnson to Schaefer for 52 yards, and the number 1 team, Langdon Area, takes a 7-0 lead, and there's the first explosive play here for the Cardinals offensively, and it goes for a house call. This will be a live ball. It's on the turf. Northern Cass will pick it up at the 20-yard line, and that's where they will be wrapped up. The Jakes fortunate there from Howard Gellner as that one just kind of popped at the 15, took an awkward bounce off his shoulder pad, able to come up with it, and Northern Cass will handle it here at the 16-yard line. 4th possession here of the half for Northern Cass with 10:26 left to play here in the quarter. As Northern Cass, for the first time today, will be trailing on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, and this is their worst starting field position. A reminder, the Cardinals won the kickoff and elected to defer, so Northern Cass will also have to kick off to open up half number 2 as well. As Rachel gets in the pistol, 2 wide receivers to either side. Rachel with it, steps up, fires. This will be complete to Hoyland at the 25-yard line, and Hoyland's going to spin, and coming up is T.J. Henderson on the tackle, as that makes its way for a gain of 6 yards. As it would be a second down on the way. So a gain of 6. As 6 yards on the way, as so far Hoyland's been efficient so far here today for Hudson Rachel with 3 catches. Nice start to the drive here if you're a Northern Cass fan, able to get positive yards. Brings up second down and medium as Rachel going to keep it here on the option, and he will get the first down, able to fake the dive, went to the outside, that went past the 30, and Rachel gets to about the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 10 on the play. 3 carries for 26 yards here for the 6'1 junior in Hudson. And it'll be a first down and 10 as the Northern Cass faithful has made their way up from the Hunter Arthur area. As you'll see it now here on the way for Northern Cass. 2 wide receivers. To near sideline as Frederick motions out. Rachel with the play action. Rachel steps up, fires. This one is going to be incomplete to Crockett up the far sideline as Easton Schaefer was in on the coverage. And so far for Hudson here in this game is 4 for 8 for 20 yards through the air. Also 3 carries for 26 yards, and they'll make it second down and 10. The Jags have taken a shot not once or twice here in this first half, haven't been able to convert against this Cardinals defense. Cardinals 10 straight postseason appearances since the start of 2016. 102 wins for Langdon Area-Munich, just to 13 losses since 2016 here with their overall record. Trips to the right, one to the near sideline, and we'll get a timeout here with 2 seconds left on the play clock. We'll break with them with 9:11 left to play here in the opening half. Cardinals with the lead by 7.
Winter is coming. Are you ready? At Agassi Sales, we'll help you build the snow removal fleet you need now. With Hyundai Construction Equipment Snow Lease Program, you'll get flexible financing, low monthly rates, and even the option of 6 months on, 6 months off. Plus, every machine is backed by our certified service department. Call Agassi Sales at 888-836-4029 or visit agassisales.com. Agassi Sales, your partner for power and reliability.
Here on YourLiveEvent.com, timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. Visit banknorth.bank. That again is banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. After the play clock going down to 2 seconds, head coach Tyler Eukstedt burns the second timeout here in the opening half. As for Northern Cass, looking to see if they can answer on a drive after the Cardinals, able to go down the field. And so far, the big play of the game is a Jack Johnson to Easton Schaefer 52-yard connection. As we get a flag on this play, and going nowhere is Parker Zeski as he's wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. But we'll see what the flag is on, as this looks to potentially be on the Jags with how quickly that flag came out. And it looks like they're going to decline it and bring up a tackle of a loss. As the nice play here for the Cardinals there for Jonathan Christie. The senior came in for the tackle of a loss back to the 32-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 2 there for Zeski on the rush. Brings up a third down upcoming and along 12. So far, the best option for the game has been one more time Northern Cass throwing the football here for Rachel. As Hudson, we'll see it trips to the right, one to the near sideline. In the pistol again goes Rachel. Rachel looking, firing. That's going to be caught at the 40-yard line, pushed out of bounds there to Hunter Kemet. It'll be well shy of the first down by about 4 yards. Won't be a completion of 7. No decision time here if you're head coach Tyler Eukstead. And he will play the field position game and punt this one out. You get maybe 2 or 3 yards a little bit closer. Might go for it, but instead they will elect to punt here as Chris Hoyland will come on for his 3rd punt of the game. As in the back here for the Cardinals is going to be Schaefer at his own 25-yard line. Clean snap. Here goes Hoyland. Right-footed kick. A high end-over-end kick that will take Schaefer all the way back inside his own 20 to the 13-yard line. But Schaefer has a little daylight to the 25. Makes a man miss to the 30. Has it to the boundary. 35 and taken down at the 36-yard line. 3rd punt of the game. Cardinals will take over here at the 36. Trying to see if they can get this one up to 2 scores here on the Bank North scoreboard. This will be at the 8:40 mark. Here in the second quarter, still to come, we'll get to our halftime show. Take a look at our town scoreboard, both in 9-man and single-A playoff action. First half stats, highlights, that and more still to come here on yourliveevent.com. Twins to the right, one to left-handed side as they will motion out to the left. Here is going to be McDonald as Davis comes into the backfield. They will fake the jet sweep to him, and Johnson is going to get met past the line, past the 36 to about the 38-yard line here for a gain of 2 on the play here for Johnson. Northern Cass able to play that one well defensively as they'll see it now for a 2nd down. So 2nd down and 2 here for the Cardinals. As they will motion out to the left-handed side and Tanner McDonald. You have Twins to the near sideline. In the gun again is Jack Johnson as Davis lines up to his left. Motion man going right to left again is Schaefer. With it is going to be Johnson in the near sideline. Johnson to the 45, and Johnson gets to about midfield on the play. Tackle here for Miles Freilich to the 48. That's going to be a gain of 11 yards. 7 carries for 55 yards we have now for Johnson. On top of that 52-yard passing touchdown to as well Schaefer, as Jack Johnson through the air has 60, make it 6 yards passing here in this one as well. Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining in the opening half. The Jags, they have 1. Shotgun again for the 6'2 senior in Johnson. Fumbles the football, able to regain the ball past the 40 as that one took a bounce to the turf, popped right back up to Johnson, and Jackson did a good job just getting north to south, if you will. Got 2 yards, brings up 2nd and 8. So 2nd down and 8, and if you're a Northern Cass fan, this is that time where you get them to a 2nd down on the way and see if you can find a way to maybe get off the football field here with a punt or a turnover on downs. Well, if you're the Cardinals, you can put this one in the end zone and you really start putting pressure on Northern Cass on their next offensive drive in a gotta-have-it kind of formation. Right-handed side is Davis. Motion man going right to left here is Schaefer. Johnson in the shotgun. He will have it on a QB keeper this time, and he gets met in the A-gap there on the way by Trevor Lee. Lee able to wrap him up immediately, and that'll be a gain of about 1. Really good pad-popping tackle there from Lee, meeting Jackson in the middle. The old Oklahoma drill brings up 3rd down and 7. As we've seen a couple of different formations here in wrinkles for Jax Johnson and that QB keeper. Really good play there by the 5'9 senior here in Lee again, wrapping him up. Trips to the left here for the Cardinals in the gun one more time. Davis lines up to the left of Johnson, and that's where they'll roll the pocket. This is going to be incomplete at the sticks, looking for Stremick, and that brings up a 4th down. Roll the pocket left and inside for Jax Johnson, and a 1-hop again right at the sticks. And see what Coach Gravachka wants to do here, needing a 7 yards to get the 1st down. And it looks like the Cardinals will elect to punt this football away with Johnson, as Northern Cass kind of has their secondary. Now, your safe call, if you will, punting on the return as Johnson able to get this one off as it's going to go make its way to the far side of the field inside the 20, and we'll see where it goes out of bounds, but the defense holds here for Northern Cass as this one goes out of bounds near the 15, maybe 16-yard line on the far side of the field. For the Cardinals, a downs, fumble, touchdown, and punt on the way as the Jags will get the ball for the 5th time this afternoon. High school playoff football here today in Langdon. Tight affair for high school Division A opening round. The Cardinals, the number 1 overall seed here out of Region 1, will either match up with Hillsborough Central Valley or the Thompson Tommies upcoming. The winner of this game again will match up with the winner of that one, and it's HCV 12, Thompson 8 with 4 minutes left to play in that contest in the 4th quarter, with HCV knocking at the door to try to get another touchdown. Rachel will hand this ball off as this will go to Zeski. Zeski spins his way to the 20-yard line. One of the better rushes we've seen from Zeski, particularly on a first down, able to get a gain of 3. That will be his best rush of the game so far here for the Jags. Trying to get some positive momentum going behind Luke Walski and Jackson Sinclair at that left tackle and left guard spot. Able to hand that little stretch play there for Northern Cass. 2nd down on the way and 7. 2 wide receivers to right-handed side, as we'll see it in the pistol, with Zeski behind Rachel. As Rachel, little speed option, will pitch it now to Zeski. Zeski trying to make a cut, and he will dive his way to about the 25-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and along 2 to 3 yards. Able to run that speed option. See a little bit of a triple option, if you will, here from Northern Cass, not under center, but motioning and orbiting a man, trying to see if they can have that full back dive, get to the boundary here for Rachel. That time just more of a speed option play. 3rd down here for Northern Cass. As Hudson tries the hard count with the play clock down to 13 seconds now. Cardinals didn't flinch to go over into that neutral zone. Play action. Rachel stepping up, firing down the field. This is going to be incomplete over the intended receiver of Freilich. And that'll be a 4th down upcoming. Northern Cass has taken their chances down the field as they were looking for both Freilich and Hoyland was kind of in the secondary as well. But Rachel, more times than not today, has just overthrown it just a hair. And that will stop the clock at 4:33 here in this 2nd quarter. And the Jags defense will need to try to bow up one more time here in this 2nd quarter to see if they can keep this at a 1-score game as Hoyland is on to punt. Clean snap, the right-footed kick, a high kick again as this one will take a bounce at the 40, inside the 35-30. Schaefer is going to just get away from it then and go to the 26, so able to have a punt of nearly 50 yards on the way here for Northern Cass, and it will be from 125 to the opposite 25, and again flipping the field, here is Hoyland. He's done a good job from that perspective here this afternoon. At the 25-yard line here for the Cardinals, this would be their 5th drive of the opening half. And what they've been able to do has been get the ground game going for Jax Johnson, but then from there it's been the one big play of 52 yards that has been the difference here of this one from Johnson to Schaefer for a touchdown here in the quarter. Jack Johnson will handle it on the QB keeper, able to get to the near sideline. Freilich will come there to make the stick at about the 30. It's a gain of 5, though, and Johnson with a healthy start to the drive for 5 yards. 10 carries for 63 yards, not a bad average at 6.3 here for the Cardinals. You'll take that all afternoon in this particular contest. Cardinals will handle it 2nd down and 5. Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining. So everything at your disposal here with 70 yards to try to go in front of you for Langdon Area-Munich. Last year going 9-3, losing to Velva Drake Adamus Garrison in the state semifinals. Johnson and Davis kind of waiting to see who was going to mesh that football, and Johnson finally said, I'm not going to worry about the handoff here. Let's just get right behind my big guys up front and get the 1st down and get a gain of about 7 to 8 yards. So they'll get the 1st down here for the Cardinals as they will handle this one and make it a 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted right between the 37 and the 38-yard line here up in Langdon. One wide receiver to the near sideline is a 6'2 sophomore in Schaefer. You got twins both to the left in McDonald, and Matt Extremic is in the slot. Shotgun formation, Johnson rolling the pocket, left and inside, firing it down the field, looking for Schaefer at the 30. This can be incomplete as Schaefer tried to come back for the ball. There defensively was Freilich at 5'9". It was just a hair underthrown there to 6'2 Schaefer, who came back for it where Freilich. Cardinals take a shot, couldn't get one there, brings up 2nd down and 10. But we've seen the Cardinals throughout Coach Krvachka's tenure run the pocket and move it one way and throw back to the other, whether it's been a screen or throwing it down the field, trying to see if you can move that defense and take it one-on-one as they tried there. 2nd and 10, trips to left-handed side, play clock down to 10 seconds as Jax Johnson will see it here at the pistol. With 4 seconds left on the play clock, they get the play off. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis makes a cut. Freilich able to trip him up right in the hands of Brooks Crockett to about the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7 and makes it 3rd down and 3. Here's where the Cardinals have kind of lived 3rd and manageable throughout the course of this game. Big 3rd down to try to get off the field here if you're Northern Cats, to see if you can get the ball back in your offense's hand one more time in this first half of play. For the Cardinals, they will go trips to the left-handed side with the 6'3 Tanner McDonald in the slot. Davis and Johnson again in the backfield and a pistol. Keeping it, Johnson makes a man miss, keeps his feet, and is going to be right at the sticks. It looks to be enough for a 1st down as Chris Hoyland comes in on the tackle, and it will be enough for the 1st down here for the Cardinals. It'll be a gain of 4. Johnson just kind of stumbled on the blocks for a moment, but then made a man miss in the backfield. Got enough for the 1st down, and that'll be 4 yards and a 1st and 10 upcoming for the Cardinals as we're nearing the 2-minute mark here of the opening half. Twins still left, one to the right-handed side as McDonald goes left to right across the formation. Jaguars pretty much playing man across with no safety. Johnson firing up the seam, incomplete. Looking for Tanner McDonald at the 30-yard line. I'll stop the clock here with 1:56 left to play. Jack Johnson so far in this game is 3 of 9 for 66 yards and a touchdown. 12 carries for 74 yards on the ground. But if you were Northern Cats coming into this game, Coach Tyler Ukestead said on the pregame show, hey, 6-3, 4 seed from the East against number 1 overall seed. We're just going to let the guys go out there. Hopefully they play free and see what happens, as this will be a handoff to Davis. Davis spins past the 50 to the 45-yard line. Gain of 7, and all of a sudden after a 2nd and 10, it's 3rd and manageable yet again here for the Cardinals. 6 carries for 33 yards as the Cardinals have surpassed 100 yards rushing as a team in this first half. 3rd and 3 here for the Cardinals. Johnson keeping it. Johnson spinning his way to the 40, and it's a gain of 5 yards. 1st down here for the Cardinals, but now they'll have to start picking up the pace a skosh with 1:29 left to play in the 2nd quarter. They have 2 timeouts remaining here. 1 wide receiver to the near sideline. Twins still left. As the shotgun here for Johnson. Johnson trying to go up the middle, and Johnson gets a couple of yards again. Lee in on the tackle as Johnson gets to about the 35-yard line, as it'll be a gain of 5 on the play. But with that last run, it took some time off the clock here to 60 seconds. There's going to be a timeout. This will be with Coach Ukestead. So Tyler Ukestead will take his final timeout here for Northern Cast. Timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. We're back with more around the corner here from Langdon.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Timeout again brought to you in part by Bank North as we take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. Thompson and Hillsborough Central Valley. HCV leads it by 10 with 80 seconds left to play, so it looks like the Burros will beat the Tommies and make their way into the quarterfinals, where they will await the winner of this contest. If Langdon Area-Munich wins, they would come to Langdon. If they lose, then Hillsborough would host Northern Cass. So we'll see how that one continues to play out. Timeout again brought to you in part by Bank North. As we see it, Twins to left-handed side, one to the near sideline, as the Cardinals will have it in that shotgun formation yet again, 2nd down and 5, as now going into the slot is Davis on the left-handed side. Northern Cass, they will bring 4. Johnson steps up, fires, throws down the middle of the field. This will be incomplete. The intended receiver was Schaefer, had a half a step on Chris Hoyland, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. A style of defense for Northern Cass where we've seen maybe a free high safety every now and then or just straight man. If you're the Cardinals, if you can get by that secondary, you can have a shot for anybody. But right now, a little bit more of a cover 2 here on this particular look, as the Cardinals will come out with a 3rd down on the way. Ball will be spotted just shy of the 35-yard line. 3rd down. Johnson moves the pocket left and inside. Fires, this will be caught at the 20, and getting out of bounds will be Schaefer. That'll be a 15-yard pitch and catch, and also getting out of bounds to save a timeout. 81 yards passing for Johnson, and so far he has thrown the football for 74 yards to Schaefer here on 3 receptions and a touchdown. The 6'2 Schaefer has been his intended target and the leading receiver coming in here for the Cardinals with 28 catches for 452 yards and 6 touchdowns in 9 games here for the Cardinals. 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 20 with 52 seconds left to play. They run it to the screen off the hands of Sam Davis. They've ran it twice, once just out in front of him, the second off of his hands, and it brings up a 2nd and 10. And for Coach Kravachka, if you're going up against him as a defensive coordinator, sometimes they move the pocket left and they throw back right or vice versa. So they can use some eye candy against you, and if you just take the bait by a step, that can allow their intended players to get behind the defense as the Jags trying to bow up here before the end of this first half, while the Cardinals trying to see if they can get up by 2 scores. Pistol. Handoff. This will go to Davis. Davis going to get tackled and bounce at about the 15, and Coach Kravachka wants a timeout here. We'll keep it here on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, as they will get about 4 yards on the play here for Davis. 7 carries for 37 yards. As we take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard here, nearing the top of the hour, Chase Miller with you from Langdon, North Dakota today for 11A playoff football. 4 minutes, couple minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Dickinson Trendy over Delax Burlington 13-6. EEK all over Grafton 32-6 after 1 half of play for the Thunder. Velva Garrison Drake and Moose over Southern McLean 33-0. 3 minutes left to play in the opening half. And Park River leads Lisbon 8-0 late in the 1st quarter as well. So those are some of your out-of-town scores and the latest that we've heard here across the state of North Dakota today. We'll keep you apprised of the 9-man games at the half and let you know what the 2A and 3A kind of looks like as well. A game that kicked off just after the 2 o'clock hour here, nearing the 1 hour mark here in Langdon. So the Jags out of first half timeouts. The Cardinals, they have 1 remaining. It'll be a 3rd down on the way here for the Cardinals, as it'll be 3rd down and about 6. As this will be at the 16, they will need to get just past the 10 for the 1st down. 2 wide receivers left. Shotgun formation for the 6'2 Johnson. Motion man goes McDonald left to right across the formation. They will roll the pocket near sideline. Johnson looking, firing in the end zone. Is that caught? Yes, it is. Touchdown, Cardinals. Easton Schaefer with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. And now he's got 4 catches on the afternoon for 90 yards and 2 scores. As they rolled out, Schaefer came back to the pylon on the near side, able to stay in bounds and get the 2nd touchdown of his afternoon. Backbreaker from a Northern Cass perspective. If you're the Cardinals, that's exactly what you wanted to try to finish the first half and start the second half with the football and leave Northern Cass with very little time to answer here offensively, as the Cardinals trying to get up 14-0. Here's the point after attempt. Right-footed kick by Johnson is up, and it is good. With 35 seconds left to play here in the opening half, the Cardinals lead it by 14.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
A 14-play drive that takes 3 minutes and 47 seconds off the clock. 75 yards capped off on that touchdown on the way. Again, a final in Hillsboro. Hillsboro Central Valley 18, Thompson 8. So the 8-seeded Burros defeat the Thompson Tommies as HCV with the win. If they see the Cardinals win here, they'd be coming to Langdon a week from today. If Northern Cass could come back and win, they would be hosting Northern Cass in Hillsboro next week. But right now, as it stands, the number 1 seed of the Cardinals able to lead here Northern Cass after that touchdown to Schaefer here at 14-0. End over end kick that'll roll its way to about the 20-yard line. Picked up here for the Jags. Northern Cass with a little bit of real estate and a shoestring tackle as Miles Freilich came out of the gun at the 20, had a lane, and gets to about the 43-yard line. Northern Cass needed a shot in the arm, and they almost got it there on the return by Freilich to try to go the distance, but Freilich at least gives Northern Cass a chance to try to matriculate something down the field quickly with 29 seconds left to play here in the first half. Also be one of the better starting field positions here in the first half for the Jags. Their best is at the 49-yard line, but here at the 43, again, the clock stops if you get out of bounds or you get the first down here. As Northern Cass, we'll see it here with Rachel, with trips to the right-handed side in this pistol formation. Little play action. Rachel looking down the field. He will step up in a muddy pocket, and eventually the Cardinals get home. Langdon Area was able to get home with Landon Schneider, part of that sack party, and that'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play. So a sack in this one with the clock and no timeouts for the Jags. They will try to get one more playoff here before it gets to zeros. They have 5 seconds, 4 seconds, trying to get set with Freilich with 3 seconds, 2 seconds to get the play off. This will be the final play of the half. Handoff, this one will go to Zeski. Parker Zeski gets to the 45 and pushed out of bounds, and that's how we'll end this first half of play as they will mark Zeski out at the 43-yard line. So it's a gain of 17 to take us to the half. 9 carries now for 24 yards. Here for Zeski. Coming up, we'll get to our halftime show. First half numbers, that and more. 7 points in the first quarter for the Cardinals. 7 points in the second quarter times Schaefer times 2. As Cardinals 14 points in the quarter take a 14-0 lead. We're back with more after this here on your LiveVent.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
I'm Molly, and I have lived here a little over 3 years now. I like the open spaces here and being able to go in and out. I like the fact that I don't have stairs or elevators. I just have most everything that I need close at hand.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
New Solid Tech R floors deliver sustainable high performance from bottle to floor. They're PVC-free and made with natural stone and recycled single-use plastic for scratch-proof, flood-proof protection that stands up to all that your life demands. Because sustainability, beauty, and performance are at the heart of Solid Tech R floors.
Available at Carpet World, 17th Avenue South, online at carpetworldfargo.com.
As we come back here at the half, the Cardinals with a 14-0 lead over Northern Cass. Here's the first half drive chart for Northern Cass. A punt, downs, punt, half. For the Cardinals, downs, fumble, touchdown, punt, and touchdown here for the Cardinals. First half numbers look like this. 218 yards of offense for the Cardinals. They have on the ground so far 121 yards combined between Johnson and Davis on 21 carries. Jax Johnson through the air, 5 of 13 for 2 touchdowns and 97 yards of offense. Johnson on the ground, 14 carries for 84 yards. Davis, 7 for 37. Schaefer, 4 catches for 90 yards and 2 scores of 52 yards and 16 yards. McDonald, a reception for 7 yards. 2 penalties for 15 yards total for Langdon. 1 turnover, which was a fumble. Well, for Northern Cass here, 74 yards of total offense, 47 yards on the ground on 14 attempts. Reichel through the air is 5 of 10 for 27 yards. So far, Hoyland 3 catches for 23 yards. Kemet 1 for 7, and Freilich 1 for -3. 1 penalty of 10 yards. No turnovers in the game here for Northern Cass. So far, a Johnson to Schaefer 52-yard receiving touchdown, and Johnson with a PAT. Then Johnson to Schaefer for a 16-yard touchdown late to finish the first half to take a 14-0 lead. We'll take a break. When we come back, take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. That's around the corner next here from Langdon.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Looking to tackle a big building project or a major fall cleanup? Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro has what you need. 40 dumpster roll-off boxes that are on hand, ready for rent. Need building materials? They'll deliver everything you need for your project and bring the dumpster at the same time for maximum convenience. If it's time for fall cleaning, rent a large dumpster and clear out your space with ease. For rentals of your dumpsters and building needs, your one-stop shop for your projects, Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro.
High school football today here on YourLiveEvent.com in Park River. Park River leads Lisbon at the half 8-0 as Park River again leads the Lisbon Broncos 8-0. You can watch the rest of that game on YourLiveEvent.com. Dickinson Trendy defeats Delax Burlington 13-6. That is the final, so the 7th seed of Trinity moves on with a 7-point win over the Lakers. They will play either Killdeer or Ray Powers Lake, and it is Killdeer all over Ray Powers Lake 32-0, as it looks like the Cowboys will move on. That again is after one half of play. Also after one half of play, Botno over Central McLean 21-0. Velva Garrison Drake Enemoose all over Southern McLean 40-0 after the first half, and Ellendale Edgeley Cullum 39-6 over Grafton. 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter. And a final, Hillsboro Central Valley over Thompson 18-8 as well. 9-man football, 5 seed of Hankinson moves on with a 38-8 win over North Prairie. They will play the winner of either Alexander or Napoleon Gacko Streeter. That game going to kicked off here moments ago. Grant County Flasher all over Divide County 34-6 after one half of play. Lemoore Litchfield Marion leads 4 wins 54-0. That game down in Lemoore. Also, South Border over North Border by 17 to start the second half. And New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock houses Hatton Northwood 80-6. Final as the Rockets defeat the Thunder here today for 9-man football. So nothing too surprising so far for both 9-man and single-A football here across the state of North Dakota. Higher seeds have held on and advanced so far. We'll see if that continues throughout the course of the contest. Again, at the half, it's 14-4 in favor of the Cardinals. When we come back, we'll take a look at the AA and the AAA football poll, the AA and the AAA playoff brackets. When we return, those games will be on Halloween on Friday. That and more still to come here on your LiveEvent.com.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Here's what we have coming up in North Dakota on the way, and we'll also take a look at a quick Minnesota scoreboard update on yourliveevent.com. At the half, it's Mahnomen-Waubun all over Ada-Borup West, 34-0 in the Section 8A semifinals. That, again, also on yourliveevent.com, and just about ready to get to second half action, and they are in the second half now. 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Park River area with an 8-0 lead over the Lisbon Broncos, as the Aggies right now are nearing about the 40-yard line currently here in that one of their own 40. So the Broncos hanging tough right now against Park River and Park River. Here in this one, AA football playoff bracket looks like this for Friday. Minot North, the 1 seed from the west, will host Grand Forks Red River. The 2 seed from the east of Central Cass will host Bismarck St. Mary's. The number 1 seed from the east in Kindred will host the Watford City Wolves. And then Devils Lake hosting in Grand Forks Central. That'll be the AA quarterfinals. AAA, Century hosting Cheyenne at the Bowl. You also have Bismarck High against West Fargo at the Bowl on Friday. Horace hosting Bismarck Legacy, and Davies against Mandan. Both 9-man, A, AA, and AAA all will be in their respective quarterfinal rounds, and the road leads to the Fargodome. That'll be on Friday, November the 14th. And for more postseason coverage on yourliveevent.com, simply go to our website. And again, is yourliveevent.com. And congratulations one more time going out to Owen Johnson, the boys state cross-country champ here from Northern Cass, able to take the championship yesterday out in Jamestown here in cross-country. At the half, it's been 2 plays that has been the difference so far. A Jax Johnson to Schaefer 52-yard connection in the second quarter, and another 16-yard connection late in the second quarter as well. That's the difference on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's the Cardinals 14, Northern Cass scoreless. We're back with second half action next here in Langdon on yourliveevent.com.
Imagine your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
Catch all the action of the fall postseason for Minnesota and North Dakota high school football and volleyball on yourliveevent.com.
Going down the field, it's picked off here from Kindred. Tanning Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six. Ford takes it up, played high in the air by Horkin. Here's risky left side off of a touch. Kept alive Thornton. Now played high. Angle, Severson, smash! Count, good!
Check out the postseason schedule on yourliveevent.com.
Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough is completing post-frame buildings 80 by 80, 80 by 160, even 80 by 200. Need an addition or shop reskin? Cywick Lumber and Hardware has all materials. They'll complete to your customized building requests. Bifold doors, hydro doors for farm buildings, and metal sailed steel for durable construction. Whether it's new, an addition, or a repair, every building project can be done with Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough. All materials, all in one place. Visit or call Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough.
Back with second half action here in Langdon. Winner will go up against the Burros of Hillsborough Central Valley after they defeated Thompson 18-8 in the opening round in Hillsborough. That'll be in the quarterfinals. The question will be the 1 versus the 8, or will it be an unseeded Northern Cass team going up against the Cardinals? They would need a comeback fashion. You hear coaches always say sometimes the most important game, the final 2 minutes of the half, and then the final couple of minutes of the second half, and the Cardinals are trying to double dip, scoring late with under a minute to play in the second quarter and trying to see if they can get up by 3 possessions and really put the pressure on here against Northern Cass. Well, if you're the Jags, you force 1 turnover. Can you get a second, or can you get a quick 3 and out and see if you can get that offense going, as that offense here for Northern Cass has been held in check for the most part. Just 74 yards of total offense for the Cardinals, 218 yards, but you take 52 yards off of one big play. The Jags defense hasn't done too shabby either against Langdon Area-Munich here, as the ball will be put on the tee here for our second half of action. And this will be a kick here, right over end kick that'll get past the 25 to the 20, and it will stay inbounds, take its way to the 10 on the far hash, as that's where the Cardinals will come up with it with Davis. And so far, if you talk about 3 areas of the game, the special teams unit of Northern Cass has played better than the Cardinals in terms of punting and kicking of what they've been able to do. But the Cardinals, again, offensively and defensively, have played better today than Northern Cass, as this one will be at the 16-yard line for the 6th drive of the game here for the Cardinals. And for what the Cardinals were able to do in the first half, get that ground game going with Johnson and Davis. They will spread them out here, and Johnson will keep it, makes a cut, and a nice swarming defense on the way here for Northern Cass, particularly up front, and that looked to be Caden Williams in on the play, as it was Brody Vanderwall as well, able to help him out a little bit, and that's going to be gain of about maybe a yard here for Johnson. 15 carries now for 85 yards for Johnson. As for the Cardinals right now, up by 2 scores on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Twins to their right, one to the near sideline. It goes Schaefer. They're looking for Schaefer on a sluggo. Schaefer up at the 40. Schaefer comes back for it, and Schaefer holds on, and a flag. Schaefer with a sensational grab, going one-on-one with Hunter Kemet, and this will be a catch to the 46-yard line. What a play by Schaefer from the 18 to the 46. It looks to be enough of a first down. The flag will be on Northern Cass, and they will decline that and take the yardage here of 28 yards on the pitch and catch. What a play on the way by Schaefer, now over the century mark. 5 receptions for 118 yards here for Schaefer in the contest. I got 125 yards passing now for Jax Johnson, first down and 10. With it, it's going to be Johnson. Johnson, your side, and Johnson with the hit stick on Freilich. Bounces off of him past the 50 to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Freilich went low. Johnson brought the shoulder pad down. He took a shot, but he rolled Freilich over as he's able to get a gain of 6 yards. Miles able to pop up okay after that one. 16 carries now for 91 yards here for Johnson. Now, this is very reminiscent from what we saw in the first half, where the Cardinals were getting some chunk plays against this Jags defense, and they're looking to do the same here throughout the course of this one. Twins to the right, one in the near sideline, but it just takes one good play for Northern Cass defense to try to get off the field. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis with the football past the 45-40, has real estate and daylight in front of him. Davis to the 20, Davis to the 10, and Davis is gone. It's a 48-yard rushing touchdown for the Cardinals, and they do indeed double dip to end the second quarter and start the third with a couple of touchdowns. 48 yards on the run, 85 yards on the ground, 8 carries for a touchdown, 85 yards, and they're able to put it in the end zone here for the Cardinals. On that drive, 4 plays that goes down the field quickly. And it started with that nice catch, right-footed kick, end-over-end kick is going to be good here on the line drive by Johnson. New score on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Cardinals lead by 21.
At Northern Cass, we believe every learner has the power to change the world, and we're here to help them do just that. That's why we're not your average school district. We deliver a world-class education built on trust, authentic relationships, and bold, innovative practices that prepare learners for whatever path they choose. From our passionate educators to our close-knit community, everything we do is rooted in purpose, connection, and a belief in every learner's greatness. Come see what makes Northern Cass a place where learners thrive, both in and out of the classroom. Learn more at northerncasschool.com.
There's the explosive plays for the Cardinals, as that is a 4-play drive that goes 84 yards down the field, 1 minute and 48 seconds off the clock. Able to make a really nice play there with Schaefer of 28 yards, Davis as well with the 48-yard rushing touchdown, and boom, the Cardinals, this is what they've done against teams all season. They get up and then they go out and hide, as they're looking right now for their 4th potential shutout, as well as they've shut out Valley City with Turtle Mountain and Grafton so far here this season, giving up just 6.7 points per contest, as Coach Kravachka's team leads at 21-0. But for the Jags, see if you can put one in the end zone here, and you got time in front of you with 10-12 left here in this third quarter. But first things first, got to have a good drive here for head coach Tyler Euxid, as this one's going to roll out of bounds on the far side at the 15-yard line. It just kept rolling and rolling, and waiting to see what it would do. So Northern Cass will get good starting field position here to open up their first second half drive offensively of the game. Also put it at the 35-yard line. And sometimes you'll see coaches maybe take the penalty and force them to re-kick. Talking with some coaches, particularly in the 9-man game, they'll definitely do that, just a little bit more open spaces. But here in 1A, it looks Coach Euxid will take the penalty. They'll put it at the 35, and that's where they'll start things off here for the Jags. Rachel's been close here today, but just couldn't connect on the big 15, 20-yard deep balls down the field. But they have put a little pressure on this Cardinals defense as they come out in the shotgun formation for Northern Cass. Twins left and right. This one will be out into the flat. That'll go to Brooks Crockett. Crockett to the 45, spins, gets the first down. Going to be wrapped up by Easton Schaefer, but Crockett gets the 47. It's a gain of 12, and exactly what you needed from a Northern Cass perspective. Good way to start this second half. That's Crockett's first catch of the afternoon. He came in as the leading receiver with 36 catches for 639 yards and 8 touchdowns here for Northern Cass. So Crockett on the reception makes it first down and 10 Jags. Twins still left, one to the near sideline. Motion man will go Crockett. as this will be a handoff to about the 50 as Parker Zeski takes a shot on the play. That will be a gain of about 3 and makes it 2nd down and 7. Zeski, 10 carries for 27 yards. As you'll see it here now, 2nd down and 7 for Northern Cass, and what is a gotta have it, put in the end zone kind of a drive if you're the Jags. You just start looking at the clock, seeing what the Cardinals could do, just trying to run the football and really minimize the rest of this game here if you're unable to put it in the end zone. Play action. Rachel sees this one, batted down at the line by the 6'3 Theo Rumfo. As Rachel was looking to go into the boundary, and the defensive end just stayed home there from Rumfo and then saw the ball and batted it away. Brings up 3rd down and 7. So 3rd down upcoming here as the Jags need to get a handful of yards to have the chance for Coach Euchstead to maybe decide to go for it as Northern Cass now. We'll see it here at the near hash at the 50-yard line. Play clock gets to 13 seconds as the Jags get set. Trip still left, one in the near sideline. Cardinals with 4 down linemen. They will bring 4. Rachel has some time across the middle, finds Crockett with the spin. The stretch looks to be enough for the first. That's going to be awfully close, and they will mark it. And that looks to be the 1st down as it is, as it'll be a gain of nearly 8 yards. Crockett, his 2nd reception here on the drive. Able to step up through that pocket there for Rachel, find his target in Crockett. And Brooks with a couple of receptions here for the 5'9 sophomore makes it 1st down and 10. Fredlick will line up in the slot position here for Northern Cass. Jags from the spring to the summer coming off a state baseball appearance at Newman Outdoor Field as well. Trying to keep the good times rolling into winter and alongside basketball. This will be to Lee. Lee, a little jitterbug move past the 40 to about the 38, and a flag comes in late after the play. This will be to about the 37-yard line. It's a face mask on the Cardinals. See if it's a 5 or 15-yard variety, but Lee able to make his way. And this will be the penalty on the Cardinals as Lee with the carry. So give him 7 yards and then add another 5 on top of it. So that's a 1st down. 3 penalties for 20 yards now here for the Cardinals. And Northern Cass just outside the 30-yard line. They'll mark it at the 31 here for a 1st down for the Jags. 2 wide receivers still left-handed side, 1 in the near sideline here for the Jags is Hoyland. As in the pistol formation, motioning left to right goes Freilich. Play action. Rachel looking down the field, has a man to Hoyland, caught, end zone, touchdown, Jags. A deep post pattern that goes to Chris Hoyland for his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. Rachel to Hoyland, and the shot in the arm the Jags were looking for was 7:54 left in the 3rd quarter. Longest play from scrimmage from Northern Cass hits Pater, and Hoyland with his 4th reception here of the contest. Now for 54 yards and a touchdown as Rachel able to go 3 for 4 on the drive and hit some timely throws as well, as here comes the PAT. Brody Zeski with the right-footed kick is up, and it's good. 7:54 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. New score, 21-7. Cardinals out in front.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
5-play drive that goes 65 yards down the field here for Northern Cass. Able to take some big shots, particularly with a flag or two, and Reichel with that 31 yards. Here's an end-over-end kick that'll go to the Cardinals' 20-yard line. With it is Davis on the far side, past the 30 to the 33-yard line. That's where the Cardinals will take over. So a touchdown for the Cardinals and a touchdown for the Jags to open up this second half of play. And the Cardinals will have their 7th possession here, up by 2 scores with 7:49 left to play in the third quarter. I mentioned got a shot in the arm offensively for Northern Cass. Can that catapult them here defensively? Well, for the Cardinals, you just keep going to where your best play consistently has been the quarterback run game here of Johnson. As Davis motions to the left-handed side, first down and 10. Johnson's going to keep it, gets to the near side, and then he's going to get stuck. Gain of about 1 on the play. Northern Cass was able to get there defensively, able to see a little bit of on that one with Chris Hoyland coming down. Also able to see Caden Williams going to set the edge a little bit, brings up a second down and 9. For the Cardinals, they've been living at that 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2 variety for most of this afternoon. If you're Northern Cass right now, 2nd and 9, see if you can force them into maybe more of a passing situation and try to get off the field. Cardinals will see it to McDonald to near sideline, twins to the right-handed side. Play clock gets to 10 seconds here as Johnson is in the gun. Motion man coming across is Schaefer. Johnson's going to keep this one, and Johnson's going to get met at the 35-yard line and taken down on the play. Able to see it defensively well. Brody Vanderwall was there to start things off, and then just a couple of Jags come with him as Northern Cass will have a injured man at about the 35-yard line. It is a gain of 2 coming off as the senior and Caden Williams might just roll the ankle a little bit there as Williams will come up under his own pressure. It's a gain of 2 yards for Johnson, makes it 3rd down and 7. 18 carries for 94 yards here for Johnson. And it brings up a 3rd down on the way for the Cardinals. Trips to near sideline here for the Cardinals. Shotgun formation for Johnson. Johnson has some time looking down. Johnson will step up, throw. This is going to be incomplete as the intended receiver on the play eventually ended up being Hoyland as the defensive back, and Stremick had to play defense as the wide receiver. A little underthrown, and the Jags will look to force a 3-and-out here and try to get the ball back with 6:28 left to play in the third quarter. Ball just a little bit underthrown on that one, and realistically, Hoyland had the better chance to try to get his 3rd interception of the season as the Cardinals will come out now and look to punt with the senior and Johnson. Clean snap. Johnson at the 25 will get this one off. End-over-end kick. That'll bounce at the 27, and the Cardinals will bat it down there at about the 25-yard line, and that's where it'll be with 6:20 left to play here in this third quarter. Second punt to the game for the Cardinals, and the Jags will see it with the football now here for the second time in the half. As this will be back to the 26-yard line is where they will mark it with 6:20 left to play here in the third quarter. So Northern Cass got the 3-and-out. Now what will they do here offensively for their second drive? Again, looking for their first playoff win since 2015. This is their first playoff appearance since 2019 here for Northern Cass. The Jags shotgun formation, Twinston near sideline. Rachel will give this one off on an end-around reverse. Now they're looking down the field on the trick play to Brooks Crockett at the 50 with the catch to the 40, and boom, the Jags pass the 50 as they're down to the 38-yard line. And then we get a flag after the play. Right now it's 36 yards on the pitch and catch to Crockett, and then there's a late flag afterwards, as this could possibly be on Northern Cass after the flag. And if it is, it'll move them back 15 yards. As Tyler Ukestead coming out right now as the head coach getting ready to deliver the next play call here. But Northern Cass will take the play. This one will be after the play. I'll be on sportsmanlike conduct on Northern Cass. Still be a first down, but will take the 36 yards to a 21 yards instead. Second penalty of the Jags for 25 yards. So Rachel able to go to Crockett down the field. 124 yards passing here for Rachel, but instead of now being at the 36 or the 47-yard line. You're at midfield now at your own 48-yard line here for Northern Cats. Regardless, it's a first down for the Jags as they're at midfield. Shotgun. Reachel will make his way near side, trying to make a cutback, picks up a block, flips it down the field. That'll go to Crockett at the 45, Crockett at the 40, Crockett at the 30, Crockett at the 25, and he gets wrapped up there. As Crockett will make his way to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 28 yards. And Brooks Crockett has been unleashed in this second half for his 4th catch here in the second half. And he also has 84 yards. As Northern Cats with 2 big chunk plays here to open up the drive. As 152 yards here passing for Reachel. First down and 10 for Northern Cats at the Langdon Area-Munich 24-yard line. And Reachel just slips once more as he was looking down the field. They're going to fake the fullback dive, and then eventually will go down as a loss of nearly 5 yard lines, as we've seen that from the quarterback here a couple of times, just kind of slipping a little bit off balance, trying to fake the dive and then come back out of it on that back pedal. And as he went down to get a little bit of breathing room between him and the defensive line, that's where he just slipped to the turf. So that'll bring up a second down and 15 here for the Jags. Tripp still left. One on their sideline is Hoyland. So for Hoyland and Crockett have kind of been 1A and 1B to target here for the Jags. This will be a screen play that'll go across, and there's going to be a shot as it'll go to the 28-yard line on the catch to Parker Zeski. Zeski, they're looking for the little screen, gets about 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. Zeski with his first catch of the contest brings up a third and about 13-14 on the way. Ball between the hashes here, the 28-yard line. 4:25 in counting here in the third quarter on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Northern Cats with the football here as they will go trips to the right, one to the left. Shotgun formation yet again, Cardinals. See if they bring pressure or just 4. They'll bring 4. Reachel going to have it on a QB draw to the 25-20, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds, but makes this 4th down a lot more attainable here for the Jags, as the spot was at the 28, and we'll see where they mark him out of bounds. Looks to be close to the 18, maybe 17-yard line, and they will mark it at the 16, so that one's going to be a big gain of 12 yards on the play here for Northern Cats. 4th down and a long yard here of what they have, as this one will be at the 16-yard line. They will need the 15 for the first, trying to get them the hard count, and who's coming off sides? It looks to be on the Cardinals by the Northern Cats bench, and it will be encroachment here on Langdon Area-Munich. 4th penalty for 25 yards. We've seen the hard count work here today for the Jags, as it looked like the Cardinals are going to bring some pressure, and they came across the line, and that's a first down on the way for Northern Cats. Ball will be spotted at the 11, so they can get a first down without needing the end zone here, as the Jags will see it now. Trips to the right-handed side here for Northern Cats, as they will handle it now in the pistol formation with Reachel here for the Jags. Reachel has some time at the 20, looking, firing. This one wide open, end zone, touchdown, Northern Cats. Into the end zone goes Hunter Kemet with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. Reachel has his 15th here of the year, and don't look now, it's a 1-score game on the 11-yard pitch and catch. 165 yards passing here for Reachel with his 2nd touchdown, as Kemet has his 2nd reception of the game for a touchdown, his 1st here of this one, and the point after attempt here for Brody Zeski. Hoyland is the holder here for Northern Cats. Clean snap, the hold, right-footed kick is blocked on the way, and the PAT is no good. But with 3:59 left here in the quarter, Northern Cats back within a possession here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of water.
No, 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 no! Jeez Louise!
This system is packing 70-mile-per-hour winds, golf ball-sized hail, and a fast drop in temperature.
Oh, jeez. Dave and Cheryl's kitchen started on fire.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez, let's take a look.
Oh, geez moments happen.
Be ready with Irie Insurance.
For nearly 40 years, West Main Pizza has been serving up hot, delicious pizzas and other favorites, like sub sandwiches, calzones, chicken wings, pasta dishes, paninis, and more. With 2 locations on East Main in Ada and the Rail District in Dilworth, we offer dine-in, takeout, and online ordering at westmainpizza.net. Discover more than just pizza at West Main Pizza in Ada and the Rail District in Dilworth, your neighborhood favorite since 1986.
21-13 here. The Cardinals with the advantage, but Northern Cass 2 drives with 2 touchdowns. That goes 6 plays down the field and takes 74 yards here for Northern Cass, capped off by that 11-yard receiving touchdown by Kemet. This one going to roll. It hits the Cardinals up man there with Davis at the 18. Davis on the far side. He gets pushed out of bounds near the 30. And all of a sudden, the Cardinals up by a possession here, and this is exactly what Coach Eukstead wanted to do, try to find a way to put this game to the fourth quarter. Kind of mentioned in the weeks, and they've just played, Northern Cass has played a lot of four-quarter football games that they have been able to find themselves in, trying to see if they can maybe put the pressure a little bit on the Cardinals. Here's the number 1 seed at home. But the Cardinals, they've been able to have a couple of big-time plays, and they will look for one here and try to see if they can get the momentum back on their side up by a possession on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Jack Johnson in the shotgun. McDonald motion to the slot near side. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis at the 30 makes a cut, and the Jags are swarming here in the second half. Really good defensive work by the lineman to allow the linebacker on the way and Parker Zeski to come up with the tackle. It's a gain of about 2, maybe 3 on the play for Davis. Davis now 9 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. His big score was to start the quarter with a 48-yard rushing touchdown to make it at the time a 20-0 football game with the PAT to make it 21-love. Cardinals trips to near sideline as they will come out in the pistol with it here. Handoff goes to Davis one more time, trying to bounce the outside, and the Jags with the stick on the far side of the football field. Northern Cass able to get out there one more time with Parker Zeski on the far side, able to come down from his safety spot as well. From the corner is Hunter Kemet, and he gets back to the original line, and now it's a 3rd down and 7 on the way. 10 carries here for 88 yards as the Cardinals handle it between the hashes at the 31-yard line. 21-13 here in the third quarter. Langdon Area-Munich up by 8, trying to avoid their second straight 3-and-out here. If they're unable to get 7 yards. Play clock down to 5. Cardinals, right-hand side, Coach Kravachka wants a timeout as the play clock gets down to 2. We'll take a break with him here on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. First timeout of the second half.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side. Corner 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Update from Park River. Park River, the Aggies 22, Lisbon scoreless in the fourth quarter. 8 minutes left to play on that one. Brent Dick with you on the coverage on yourliveevent.com in Park River. Chase Miller with you here in Langdon. First time out of the third, brought to you in part by Bank North. They've been a trusted financial partner for generations. See what values-based banking can do for you at Bank North. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So 3rd and 7 upcoming here for the Cardinals. Cardinals taking a look back, and the closest game of the year was against Park River, 42-22. Otherwise, they have won most contests by 30 or more points. With 2:30 left to play here in the third, Cardinals will motion out Davis to near side, 3rd and 7. In the shotgun, Johnson, QB keeper up the middle. Johnson breaks it a 1 tackle, but can't break out of a second. Coming in is Brooks Crockett. Have yourself a quarter for Brooks. Johnson gets about a yard, maybe 2, and it brings up a 4th down and 5. If Crockett doesn't make the tackle, Johnson probably would have had the first. Instead, brings up a 4th down as the Cardinals right now will come out, and Johnson stands back at his own 23-yard line to try to punt the football away. High snap, right-footed kick by Johnson. That goes to Freilich, and Freilich will see it go over him at the 20, take a Cardinal bounce inside the 15, and roll to about the 13-yard line with 1:50 left to play here in the third quarter. As for Northern Cass, this will be their 9th possession of the game here. Ball will be spotted inside the 15 with 1:40 left, 1:50 that is left to play here in this third quarter. And you can just feel the momentum shifting. Now it's the Cardinals looking for a quick 3-and-out. Try to set up your offense with the football on a short field. Good punt, though, by Johnson. Saw that one go over Frelickson, and that took about another 10 yards on the bounce as well. And then the penalty on the way here on Northern Cass will also make it down to the 6-yard line. So 3 penalties now for 35 yards, and this one will go all the way back now to the 6. We're starting field position of the game here for the Jags. I'll try to go 94 yards here to see if they can tie this one up. But first, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone here with Rachel. Trips to near sideline, 1 to the left in the pistol formation. Hands this one off. That goes to Zeski. Zeski gets the boundary, pushed out of bounds. Maybe got 2 yards on the play, if that, as Parker Zeski, the 5'9 senior, gets a yard or 2 to make it 2nd down and 8. It's one thing you're looking at immediately is to try to see if you can get a yard or 2 a little bit closer to the 10-yard line instead of the 5 or towards the goal line here from the Northern Cass perspective, as the clock will also stop going out of bounds in this third quarter as well. Winner has a date with the Burros of Hillsborough Central Valley next week in the quarterfinals. One wide receiver to the near sideline is Hoyland. As you have it back in the pistol formation as they hand this one off. This one makes a little jitterbug move there for Parker Zeski, and Zeski keeps the pile going with him. On the way looks to be Vanderwall to try to push it to the sticks, and it's a matter of where they're going to spot this football. As Zeski with a healthy run, and they're going to give him a first down, make their way for the first down here for Northern Cass. Ball is back at the 8 and make it to the 18. It's a gain of 10. So first down and 10 on the way, and that second and third push here from Northern Cass with the guys up front able to help them out a little bit. Walski, Sinclair, Vanderwall, Williams, and Dixon trying to see if they can lean on this front here for the Cardinals on this drive. First down and 10 as Rachel, the 6'1 junior, going to play action, looking to go in the flat. Rachel makes a man miss, flips it down the field to Crockett, incomplete at the 35-yard line on the crossing pattern, as this would be incomplete. And we've seen getting in the backfield a handful of times here, the defensive ends for the Cardinals. Rachel able to evade a sack, get the ball off to make it now 2nd down and 10 with 64 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Good one as the Cardinals, again, 9-0 on the season, the number 1 team out of Region 2, winning the regular season Region 2 title. Northern Cass with a win over Valley City earned the number 4 seed from Region 1 with the mark of 6-3, and that's where we set up here. Play clock into single digits now at 7. Rachel, shotgun, quickly gets the ball out to Crockett. Crockett gets to about the 24-yard line. It's a gain of nearly 5 on the play. Rachel just said, you know what, let's get the ball out quickly. They'll make it a gain of 6. And for Crockett, that's his 5th catch of the quarter now for 90 yards here receiving. On the opposite side for Rachel here in this second half is 8 of 10 through the air. In the contest is 13 of 20 for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Third down on the way, 3rd and 4. As Rachel looking for the hard count here. Northern Cass does have to at least run one more play before the end of this fourth quarter. Rachel, 4-man will come in. They will flip down the field. Open is Hoyland. Hoyland with daylight at the 40. Hoyland to the 30. Hoyland to the 25-20, and he steps out of bounds there. They flip the field on a 55-yard completion, and they'll mark him at the 18, make it a completion of 58 yards. Hoyland with this 5th catch of the contest now with 112 yards receiving. And what a big-time play on 3rd down for Northern Cass offensively. 229 yards passing here for Hudson, as that was right up the seam. 1st and 10 for the Jags with 8 seconds, left to play in this first quarter. 6'1" junior feeling well in charge right now. A little speed option play. He will keep it as Hudson spins his way past the 11. That's where he will be down there. It's a gain of nearly 7 yards to end this third quarter play. Don't go anywhere. 6 carries for 40 yards. We head to the final 12 minutes of the fourth quarter. Northern Cats knocking on the door here when we return in Langdon.
Look at your calendar. There's still time to complete those building projects before freeze-up. Cywick Lumber and Hardware in Hillsboro has everything you need. Top quality building materials, trusted tools, and Midland garage doors. Yes, it's busy now with harvest, but don't wait. Order now to ensure your products arrive on time so your projects are done before the first flake falls. Visit with Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro and make your building projects plans a reality. Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsboro.
Winter is coming. Are you ready? At Agassi Sales, we'll help you build the snow removal fleet you need now. With Hyundai Construction Equipment Snow Lease Program, you'll get flexible financing, low monthly rates, and even the option of 6 months on, 6 months off. Plus, every machine is backed by our certified service department. Call Agassi Sales at 888-836-4029 or visit agassisales.com. Agassi Sales, your partner for power and reliability.
High school football today here on YourLiveEvent.com. Chase Miller with you here as we head to the fourth quarter. The Jags trailing the Cardinals by 8 on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard in what has been a really good Division A football game here today from Langdon. Ball will be spotted at the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 upcoming. Winner again has a date with the Burros a week from today. If you're a Burro fan and you want to host, you're going for Northern Cass, but then you'd see a region full. If the Cardinals win this one, the Burros would be coming up to Langdon here a week from today. They put 2 halfbacks in the backfield. They will pitch it out. This one comes to near sideline to Zeski. Zeski at the 5, and Zeski trying to turn to the 2, and that's where he's down. It's a gain of 8. It's a 1st down and a goal-to-goal situation here. A little option play. Parker Zeski, 13 carries, now for 57 yards. Northern Cass got the touchdown. Point after attempt was blocked on their previous possession, but still only just a 1-score game here. And first things first, got to get a couple more yards to try to put this one in the end zone. It's a goal-to-goal situation at the 2. One wide receiver to the right-handed side is Northern Cass in those white tops, the black pants with the white and gold piping come out in a 1st and goal situation. 5 seconds on the play clock. Rachel with 3, with 2. Handoff goes to Zeski. Zeski makes a cut, and Zeski walks in for a touchdown for the Jags. Parker Zeski with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and Northern Cass is back within 2. 11:32 left to play here in the fourth quarter. As you see, Parker Zeski with the touchdown. And so far for Northern Cass, 3 possessions in this half, all 3 touchdowns as well here for the Jags. But the ever-important 2-point conversion to come on here to try to tie this one up at 21 apiece. While on the opposite side, the Cardinals with a touchdown, punt, and punt so far here in this second half. 2-point conversion. You got 2 wide receivers right and left. Zeski to the right of Rachel here in the gun. Motion man goes Freilich. They play action. Pop pass into the end zone is batted and incomplete as they were looking for Crockett. A couple of hands were there defensively for the Cardinals. There was Schaefer, and with 11:32 left to play here in the fourth quarter, it's 21-19 Langdon area up by 2 here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Here in Langdon on YourLiveEvent.com, that drive 7 plays, able to go 94 yards down the field, and the big one to flip it was the 58-yard pass on a 3rd down to Hoyland. to essentially put Northern Cass in scoring position, and they put the ball in the end zone, still down by 2, but now the Cardinals will try to see if they can put it in the end zone, get a 2-point conversion, or possibly get the PAT, make it a 2-score game. But if you're Northern Cass, one more defensive stop, you would have a chance to take your first lead of the game if you can get a turnover or a stop here and try to get the ball back. One timeout taken so far in the half. That was by Coach Kravochka and the Cardinals in the third quarter. Ball on the tee by Freilich. This one goes end over end to the 25-yard line off the hands of Davis. It's on the turf, and Davis able to hop back on it at the 32. It went off his shoulder pads when he was trying to come up with it, and the Jags nearly got on the football, but Davis quickly jumped on it, and the Cardinals catch a break. 9 possessions now here for the Cardinals with 11:19 left to play here in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals will see this football here at their own 33-yard line. Shotgun formation, twins to the near side, one to left. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis gets the 35, has a little bit of crease in front of him to the 45, 50, near sideline 45, 40, and pushed out of bounds into Northern Cass territory at the 37-yard line. It's a gain of nearly 30 on the play for Davis, and he's over the century mark. Able to see it here for now, 118 yards for Davis. And now you have 2 rushers on the season for both Johnson and Davis here for the Cardinals, over 1,000 yards on the ground between the pair of seniors. First down and 10 for the Cardinals, ball at the 37-yard line as they will keep it with Johnson. Johnson up the middle to the 35. Johnson turning the pile to the 31-yard line. It's a gain of nearly 7 yards. 20 carries for 103 yards for Johnson on the ground. You take that as well with the 125 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Over 225 yards of offense and counting here on the way for the senior quarterback here for the Cardinals. As you'll see it, 2 wide receivers still left, 1 in the near sideline. Shotgun on the way here for Johnson as Davis motions to the right-handed side behind the tight end. Motion man coming across left to right, and we'll see a flinch on the line, and this will be against Northern Cass. That'll be a first down on the way for the Cardinals, as well as they'll mark this one off. 4th penalty here for the Jags of 40 yards. And that'll be a first down on the way for the Cardinals. From the Northern Cass perspective, if you give up the touchdown, you just can't give up the point after attempt or the 2-point conversion to try to keep it a 1-score game. If you're the Cardinals right now, trying to answer the 3 touchdowns in this second half here for Northern Cass. Trips to left-handed side, shotgun for Johnson again. Johnson will keep it, gets to 25, and he's wrapped up by Freilich, and alongside with him in Carter Grandal in here, as it'll go past the 25 to about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it looks like we might have a penalty on the play as they're talking it over here. It's a gain of 5. We'll see what they're going to say here, as there is no penalty, as they'll just talk it over. So it's a gain of 5 here for Johnson. The officials were huddling up for a second, thought it could have been, but now it makes it 2nd and 5, back in the gun. Johnson handoff, that goes to Davis. Davis to near sideline 15, down to the 10. The Jags trying to strip it away, but it'll be 1st and goal situation here for the Cardinals. It's a gain of 13 yards as they ran right behind Olliott and alongside Rumfo on the right-handed side, and Davis with his 12th carry of the game gets him in a 1st and goal-to-goal situation. 131 yards, Davis averaging over 10 yards per rush as the Cardinals are trying to put this one in the end zone. 9 yards out here. It's been an entertaining 3 quarters now into the 4th quarter of football here in Langdon that got underway nearly 2 hours ago. Trips to the near sideline as the motion man goes McDonald. Quarterback Johnson, handoff Davis. Davis to left-handed side. He gets wrapped up at the 6. Had a lane in front of him, but coming in on the tackle is Brooks Crockett from the linebacker spot. A gain of 2. If Crockett doesn't get there, that more than likely would have been an end zone. rushing touchdown, but instead it's a gain of a couple and brings up 2nd and goal between the hashes, ball spotted at the 6-yard line. As the Borough fans waiting to see the conclusion of this one and see what their plans are a week from today here in the single A playoffs in the quarterfinals. Cardinals one to the left. They got Twins to the right. Shotgun formation here for Johnson as Davis lines up to his left. This will be a handoff. Davis makes a cut, and Davis gets wrapped at the 5. Crockett there on the tackle one more time. It's a gain of 1, maybe 2, and brings up a 3rd and goal situation. Now the old bend but don't break is what Northern Cass is trying to do here. The clock continues to milk off and wind a little bit more on every particular play call, but Northern Cass trying to force the Cardinals to see if you maybe kick a field goal or get to a 4th and goal situation here. But for the Cardinals, 5 yards is what they need to get in the end zone. 12 seconds left on the play clock. Davis in the backfield, a little wildcat play. They'll reverse it here to Schaefer. He's going to pitch it, and that's going to be in the end zone. Touchdown! It's a Philly special on the way. Schaefer to Johnson for 5 yards to the near sideline, and the Cardinals strike back as they lead it by 8. The Philly special, just like the Eagles ran it in the Metrodome, at US Bank Stadium against the Patriots, now the ever-important PAT upcoming. Schaefer for 5 yards for the touchdown on the way to Johnson. Clean snap, clean hold. The right-footed kick is up, and it is good. And it's a 2-score game with 7:33 left to play in the 4th quarter on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Cardinals lead it by 9.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
Back here in Langdon, it's a kick that's going to go short, make its way to the 22-yard line, picked up here by Northern Cass as the Jags break a tackle to the 30, and Northern Cass here on the return by Howard Gellner to the 31. A flag comes in at the 36-yard line, a 7-play drive that goes 67 yards down the field for the Cardinals, able to take off 3 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock as well, as they're able to get the point after attempt and get with the lead here at 28-19. The penalty will be on Northern Cass, as this one will be their 5th of the game, as they'll mark it back here to the 21-yard line. So for the Jags, in the situation after giving up the touchdown, this is pretty much a must-need score drive here on the season from the Northern Cass perspective. Going right to left as we see it here in Langdon. Chase Miller with you on a nice day for a little high school football here, the final Saturday of the month of October. As we got Twinston here, sideline one to the right. Rachel steps up, fires, throws, looking for Crockett down the field, incomplete. Easton Schaefer in the coverage at the 40-yard line. Make it now 14 of 22 through the air here for Hudson with 229 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns to boot as well. Here in the quarter, Northern Cass with 6 points, while for the Cardinals with 7 here in quarter number 4. Northern Cass has definitely given the number 1 seeded Cardinals everything and some here in this football game, especially trailing it at one time 21-0 in quarter number 3. Hudson will see it here, rolling the pocket, right-handed side. Reichel steps up, fires, throws down the field, looking off the hands of Hoyland, but a flag will come in, and a couple of them as they were looking for Hoyland. Stremick looks to be called with the penalty here. You saw the Cardinals bench immediately erupt. They were not happy with that penalty call, and we'll see where the flag is on again back at the 46-yard line. In Cardinal territory, the original line of scrimmage at the 21, but with how the Cardinals are reacting, it looks to be a pass interference on the Cardinals, and it is. 5 penalties now for 40 yards here on Langdon Area-Munich, and Northern Cass gets a little gas into that tank here to try to get going offensively in this fourth quarter. Northern Cass with all 3 timeouts remaining. The Cardinals, they have 2. So if you're Northern Cass, doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes of clock that goes, you just got to put the ball in the end zone with a couple of timeouts remaining, bare minimum here. Reichel steps up. Reichel sees a pocket collapse, fires. This will be caught at the 41-yard line as Kemet will make the completion. That'll be a gain of 5 on the play. Kemet, his 3rd catch of the game now for 23 yards, also has a receiving touchdown as well. Northern Cass will quickly get to the line, as they will. Reichel here at the 41-yard line. Hudson looking. Reichel will flip back with the pass to Freilich, who gets tackled in the open space on the play by Jax Johnson, and Freilich might have the wind knocked out of him on that one. That'll be a loss of about 2. Coming underneath on a drag route there is Freilich. Freilich with a couple of catches here today, but both have been for lost yardage, as waiting for him was Johnson. As we'll see it for a 3rd down on the way for Northern Cass, and this is one of those situations where it's more than likely 4th and go for it situation for the Jags. 23 seconds left here on the play clock as they break the huddle. Trips to right-handed side in the pistol, as we'll see it now here for Northern Cass as they will come into a tight bunch formation. Play clock now to 10. Hudson looking. Reichel steps up, fires, throws, looking down the field. Kemet trying to get the one-handed catch. And this one, we'll see a flag coming out at the end of the conclusion. Never saw on an official say if it was a catch or not, as that was right where Kemet was at the 48-yard line. If it's a catch, it's a gain of 13 yards. But it looks like it'll be a flag on the play, and we'll see on this one if it's on the defense for the Cardinals. As Kemet went up for it, a defensive back came down, and we'll see what the play call is on this one. Trying to see, and this would be a personal foul again on the Cardinals. So they're going to say more of a helmet-to-helmet hit on that one. It will be a 15-yard penalty one more time for the Cardinals, and the Jags will take the yardage. So a personal foul to make its way to, as they'll mark it off to the 46-yard line here. So for Northern Cass, you'll take the yardage no matter how you get it here. Just going to find a way to put this puppy in the end zone as they trail it by 9 here under 6 minutes to play. 2 wide receivers near sideline, 2 to the right, pistol formation. Motion man coming left to right, play action. Reichel looking down the field, flips it to the boundary as this one's going to be caught by Grandallen here, and then he is tackled in the backfield here by Sam Davis, who comes down from a safety spot, as it'll be a loss of a yard, maybe 2 on the play. For Northern Cass, they have 6 different players with a reception after the Grandallen catch there. Quickly to the line, it's 2nd down and 12. Trips in near sideline, 1 to the right. Reichel with the throw down the far sideline, caught by Brooks Crockett, but the Cardinal fans are saying that was an offensive pass interference by Crockett as they were looking for the back shoulder play there to Brooks at the 20-yard line. It's a catch of 28 yards, but that's going to be negated by the offensive pass interference here by Northern Cass. So go back to the original line of scrimmage at the 48, as that'll be the 6th penalty of the game for Northern Cass for 65 yards, and you could see immediately the Cardinals bench erupt on the near side. The play was on the far side, but they were asking for the pass interference on Crockett, and it came out immediately as Brooks separated from the defensive back, and now it'll be second down and a country mile to come here for the Jags, as this will be back at their own 37-yard line, and what they essentially need is the Cardinal 37-yard line. Just need to get some yards here, get a little bit closer on a second down upcoming. Trips to near sideline, one to the right. Reichel with the football. Reichel moves the pocket, right-handed side, flips it down the field. This will be incomplete. Just kind of getting rid of the football there, and that'll stop the clock with 5:07 left to play in the fourth quarter. Now, this is an interesting one. If you don't get any yards here, if you're the Jags, do you then play the defensive game? Or do you try to maybe see if you can get 10 yards? We saw it earlier in the first quarter in a situation where it's 3rd and about 20, where they ran a screen play, got 10, then eventually punted. But in a situation like this, you'll take the 10 yards just to make 4th down a little bit more manageable here. Trips to the near sideline, one to the right with Reichel. Reichel will run the screen play. This will be incomplete over the outstretched hands of Parker Zeski, trying to get some offensive linemen out in front of him. And now for Coach Ukestead, what do you do here on 4th down and, again, about 25-26 upcoming? That's going to be 4th in the season right now unless you elect to punt this football away. And if you do punt the football away, you're going to be asking for your defense to get a quick 3 and out, burn the timeouts, and then still have to have 2 drives to put it in the end zone. If you don't get it here, the Cardinals will have it at the 37-yard line in positive field position in Northern Cass territory. Play clock down at 10 as the Jags will come out for it here. 4th down and about 25 upcoming. Twins still left. Make that trips to the near sideline. 3 seconds on the play clock. They get it off. Cardinals are going to rush for Reichel looking down the middle of the field to Hoyland with the catch at the 43, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. A nice play to get some chunk yardage on the way, but he's still about 6 yards shy of the 1st down. It's a gain of 19. It'll be a turnover on downs. Hoyland with the 6th catch of the game for 131 yards and a touchdown. Turnover on downs now here for the Jags and for the Cardinals. With 4:57 left to play in the 4th quarter, they will handle it for their 10th drive here at their own 43-yard line. Tough play on the offensive pass interference for Northern Cass, as you'll see it here, that really put them behind the sticks. And now the Cardinals will just try to milk this clock out and see if they can get in the end zone. Johnson near sideline with the 1st down and barrels his way past the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 18 on the play for Johnson. His 22nd rush of the afternoon now has 126 yards on the ground for the senior. Johnson with over 250 yards of total offense on the ground and through the air. And from a Coach Ukestead perspective, when do you start to burn and use those timeouts? And on the opposite side, if you're Coach Gervachka, how can you bleed the last 4.5 minutes off the clock and have a home date with the Burros next week here in Langdon? 1st down and 10. Cardinals will see it. Motion man going left to right. Handoff goes to Davis, and Davis is met in the backfield for a tackle for a loss. Brody Vanderwall comes in with a tackle for a loss. Really nicely done by Vanderwall. He came unevaded and wrapped up Davis for a loss of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. And Vanderwall just kind of got out of his stance and came in immediately, won that battle. This will be 2nd and 13 upcoming. So 2nd down and 13 here for the Cardinals. Play clock down to 15 seconds. Now quickly, the Cardinals will break the huddle. Twins still left, one to the right. Cardinals trying to take as much time off the clock here as Johnson sees the motion man with 2 with 1. QB keeper up the middle. Johnson can't get out of a shoestring tackle here on the way by Grandolin. And Coach Tyler Ukestead will take the timeout on a 3rd and 12 upcoming here. 23rd carry for Johnson for 127 yards with 3:25 left to play here in the quarter. Tyler Ukestead will take his first timeout here of the half. We'll break with him on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a Bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just
Check out BearsHomeSolutions.com.
Timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. All the games are final in 1A except for this one, as Dickinson Trinity defeated DLB by 7, Hillsborough Central Valley over Thompson by 10, Ellendale Edgeley Cullum over Grafton 46-6, and defending champ Velva Garrison Drake Anamoose over Southern McLean 49-6. Botno over Central McLean 24-8. Park River Area with the shutout of Lisbon 28-0, and Killdeer with the win over Powers Lake today 39-13. Final game that's in session here in Division A. Timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. It's 3rd and 12 for the Cardinals. Johnson in the shotgun looking to sub the screen. This one will be batted down by the left hand on the play by Parker Zeski. They're trying to slip Davis out. If they would have had the completion, that would have had some room in front of him, as he had 3 guys in white in the backfield quickly to Johnson. Maybe more of a pop pass would have got there, but instead stops the clock, and the Jags also are able to save now 2 timeouts. So they got 2 timeouts remaining for the Cardinals, 2 timeouts remaining for Northern Cass with 3:22 left to play here in the quarter. A little bit of a high snap, but Johnson handles it nicely with the pooch to the 15, takes a Cardinal bounce inside the 10 and roll inside to about the 7. So not a bad drive for the Cardinals, able to take some time off the clock, force a timeout, and flip the field here. But Northern Cass still with life, as they will handle it for the 5th time in this second half. Looking for some magic now if you're Northern Cass and you need chunk plays in a hurry, as this will go all the way down to the 6-yard line. In this second half, Northern Cass with a touchdown, and turnover on downs. Well, you have it for the Cardinals: touchdown, punt, touchdown, and punt. As the Jags will come out here with Lee in the backfield, as Reichel looking to throw. This one will be caught as Hoyland gets to about the 15-yard line. That'll be a gain just south of the 15, a gain of 8. So 259 yards for Reichel. Well, for Hoyland now 140 yards receiving with 7 catches. Reichel, shotgun, yet again has some time, looking. Reichel going to move the pocket right. This one will be incomplete, as they were looking on the play to the far side of Freilich at the sticks. Stops the clock, and it's 3rd down and 3 upcoming at the 14-yard line. For Northern Cass, they got to have a drive here. Simple as that. This and the season, if you're unable to put points up on the board, then you're going to need the onside kick after that. But first things first, can you get the first down on the way here for Northern Cass? If you're just joining us, Langdon Area-Munich led 14-0 at the half. They led 21-0 after a 48-yard rushing touchdown by Johnson to open up the 3rd quarter. Then the Jags came storming back to make it 21-19 early in the 4th quarter before the Cardinals answered to get up by 2 possessions. This one will be completed to Crockett. Crockett gets to the numbers, trying to get out of bounds, and they will say he's tackled inbounds, but it's a first down regardless, as they're able to get past the 20 to about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 9. So 268 yards now through the air. Crockett, 6 receptions for 99 yards. It's a 1st and 10. 2 wide receivers left and right. Reichel looking. Reichel firing down the middle of the field. This one will be incomplete for the intended receiver, and Hoyland at the 40-yard line, covered on the play by Stremick, as Reichel took a shot. It brings up now 2nd and 10. With that pocket collapsing, Hudson trying his best to wait and see if someone would break open down the pattern, which allowed the Cardinals defense to try to get there and provide some pressure. High school football tonight, 2 hours and 16 minutes and counting so far for this game, and it's been a good one up in Langdon. 2 wide receivers, right-handed side. Now Crockett will motion out there with them and line up in the slot as a tight end. One to the near sideline is Kemet. Reichel, shotgun, will move the pocket far sideline. Reichel steps up, fires. This one will be caught at the sticks and staying in bounds for the first down, then diving out of bounds for a gain of 12 yards. There is Brody Zeski. Brody Zeski with his first catch of the afternoon. Now that's 7 different receivers here that Northern Cass has found a way to get a first down and some, or reception, but that's a first down and able to get out of bounds to save the clock for a little bit as well, as now it's with 2 minutes to play. Rachel with it, looking down the field, will step up, fire, throw. This is incomplete off the intended hands here of the Cardinals, as Jax Johnson nearly got the interception as they're looking for Freilich. And right now the Cardinal defense, especially that coverage in the secondary, looking to see if they would potentially go for that interception, especially when you know Northern Cass needs some chunk plays in a hurry. You can play a little center field, maybe try to bait Hudson into a pass. And if you're Northern Cass, you're going to have to take these chances, looking for 10, 15, 20 yards, not the 3-4 yard variety here for the Jags. Play clock gets down to 10. Northern Cass to the near sidelines, twins to the left, two to the right, in the pistol. Rachel steps up, fires across the middle to Crockett at the 50. That's a catch for a gain of 14. 294 yards passing now for Hudson, and Crockett gets over the century mark. He's at $113 with 7 receptions here for Crockett. That one just a crossing pattern across the middle, and Rachel just going to clock it to stop it with 1:32 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, and for the Jags, trying to save those timeouts as best as you can. Rachel might have over 40, 45 pass attempts by the time we get through the conclusion of this one up in Langdon. Still to come on our post-game show, we'll get to our Agassi Precision Egg Play the Contest, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, final stats, and bit of do here from Langdon. But first things first, what do the Jags have in store on this drive against the Cardinals? 2nd and 10, ball at midfield. Rachel looking for a sluggo move. He will step up, nearly sacked, fires, throws this one to Crockett at the 30, and there's going to be a flag. Brooks trying to come back for the ball. It was underthrown a little bit as he was in a hand tussle there with Sam Davis. The penalty will be on the Cardinals here, and this will be a foul on a pass interference in 15 yards, and it's a 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 35. 7th penalty for 70 yards here for the Cardinals. And for the Jags, it also gets 15 yards. It stops the clock with 1:25 left to play in the fourth quarter. And you'll take it, trying to find just different ways. Ran a sluggo route with one. Crockett came back after a little bit intended pass by Rachel. Was just a hair underthrown on the pressure. Cardinals consistently have rushed 4 here today. They'll bring 4 again. Rachel looking, gets hit as he throws the football, deflected, and it's picked off here by the Cardinals. Stremick to the 50, Stremick to the 40, Stremick to the 30. Stremick picks up a block to the 20, and Stremick will take it the distance for a 70-yard interception and put this one more than likely out of reach as the number 1 seed looks to survive here today in Langdon. Rachel had to step up as he threw the ball, got hit, got deflected, and then went into the hands of Maddox Stremick for his 2nd interception of the year that goes 70 yards. And the Cardinals now lead it 34-19 with 1:08 left to play here in the fourth quarter. First turnover of the game here for Northern Cass, as the Cardinals will come on for the point after attempt here for Johnson. Clean snap, the hold, right-footed kick is going to be partially blocked, and it's no good. And with 1:08 left to play in the fourth quarter, a new score. The Cardinals up by 2 possessions, but now up by 15 here on YourLiveVent.com.
I'm Molly, and I have lived here a little over 3 years now. I like the open spaces here and being able to go in and out. I like the fact that I don't have stairs or elevators. I just have most everything that I need close at hand.
About a 70-yard pick six on the way for the Cardinals, with that for Stremick as it was deflected about the 35-yard line, and then Stremick got it at the 30 and got a couple of blocks, made a man miss, and got in the end zone for a 70-yard pick six on the way here for the Cardinals with 68 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Again, still 2 timeouts remaining for the Cardinals, 2 as well here for the Jags, but that one could be the backbreaker if you're Northern Cass, it's still a 2-possession game, but now instead of 9 points, it's up to 15 points here. This Northern Cass team has shown fight from the beginning. They've trailed the entirety of the game. It was scoreless after one quarter, and then it's been a 14-0, got up to 21-0, as this one's a little pooch as they reverse it up, and that'll go to Gellner, and then Gellner's going to get wrapped up at the 18-yard line. So 64 seconds remaining here for Northern Cass. With 1:04, they will handle it right around at the 18-yard line. As we'll see it here with 64 seconds left to play on our Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. The Cardinals, that's how much time they're away from hosting the 8-seeded Hillsborough Central Valley Burros next week here in Langdon. But you look at this Northern Cass team, and they have a good chunk of players returning the senior class as well, able to hopefully, from what Kyler Eukstead said in our pregame show, kind of laid the foundation for guys to move forward here. First playoff appearance again since 2019. Reichel right up the seam. That goes to Crockett. Crockett takes a shot, and taking the hit there, maybe a little bit more, was Jax Johnson, but that'll be to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 14 on the play. Crockett now with his 8th reception of the contest. As with it, Reichel looking, firing. This one off of Hoyland and incomplete. Looking on a 10-yard crossing pattern at the 45. 127 yards receiving here for Crockett. Hoyland has 7 receptions for a $140. Over 300 yards passing here for Hudson Reichel. Or Reichel, excuse me, as Reichel has 308 yards here passing and 3 touchdowns in the game as well. Trips to the near sideline. Shotgun formation here for the 6'1 junior. Reichel will come up, evades a sack on the first one, but can't evade the second, as coming up there is Braxton Linseth, the 6'5", make him the 5'11 sophomore, coming in right at the line. And a quick timeout here for head coach Tyler Eukstead to stop the clock, and that'll be his second one. As getting back to about the line of scrimmage, it'll be a 1-yard loss for the second sack of the game. 36 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field, brought to you in part by Bank North. We're back with more around the corner.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
And timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. It'll be 3rd down and 11 upcoming. Northern Cass with 1 timeout remaining here in their back pocket. As 36 seconds here in the fourth quarter, as they will come out to an unbalanced formation. They'll put 5 to the near side, go in that shotgun, as we'll see a 3rd down upcoming. As they're trying to put 39 seconds on the clock. Add a couple more seconds here, as they will put it up to 39 seconds. As the Cardinals, if they can pick up this win, they would then be starting the 2016 season 103-13 since 2016 here for Langdon Area-Munich. We'll see it for Hudson Reichel. Reichel with it, fires it. That'll be a screen pass that'll go to the far side of Parker Zeski. Gets to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 8. As that'll be to Hoyland, Hoyland with a gain of 8 yards. As Northern Cass will call the timeout and stop the clock. 148 yards now on the way for Hoyland. And going through this Northern Cass squad, Hoyland with Freilich and Parker Zeski, part of the senior class this season with Bierke. You also see Steele. Carter is out there with Kenan Williams, Hubdeness, Iwin, and Thompson and Tommerdahl as well. But you look at this Northern Cass team, they're still bringing back a nice core, especially on the offensive line, where they would return 4 other 5 starters here next season. You would bring back your quarterback. You'd have Hunter Kemet and Brooks Crockett as well, a couple of nice playmakers on the outside. Circle this Northern Cass team to one to watch out for next season in 2026. It's 4th down in the season here for the Jags. With it, they throw it. That's across the middle to the 50-yard line. Kemet will handle it to the 48. It's a gain of 12. Langdon just kind of keeping everything in front of them, making sure they don't get beat deep, giving Hudson that particular play. Hudson will take it for the first down, but they got to quickly get to line to try to stop the clock here, as it's 1st down and 10 on the way, and then they clock it to stop the clock with 13, make that 18 seconds. But Northern Cass forced the number 1 seed here for Langdon Area-Munich to earn this one and put a drive together late, as the Cardinals really haven't been in a 4-quarter kind of a ball game in terms of where you got to have a stop, you got to put it in the end zone. They beat Park River by 20, but that's been their closest game coming into this one, as Richo goes right down Main Street past the 35 to the 30. It's a gain of 18 on the rush there for Hudson. 7 carries for 58 yards. He will quickly get to line. The Jags will look to clock it. They do, and they spike it with 7 seconds. So 7 seconds remaining here. 1, maybe 2 plays in front of you for Northern Cass. $25 for 42 through the year for 330 yards of offense here for Hudson. Or 300 and now 28, as this one goes to the outside. Ball will get deflected at the line. 4 seconds will come off the clock, and it'll be the final play of the 2025 season upcoming here for Northern Cass, as the Cardinals will hang on and win and get to 10-0 on the season. For the Jags, they will finish the year 6-4, but a lot of positives from a Northern Cass perspective, as they will try to get back into the playoffs again next year in a competitive Region 1. Again, last playoff appearance was 2019 for the Jags. It's not one that you want to lose, but one where the silver outlining is what can be for Coach Euchstead in this Northern Cass program. Richo will step up, evades a sack, looking to throw it down the field. Richo into the end zone. This one, a 50-50 ball is batted and incomplete, and that's how we'll end the football game here today in Langdon. The Cardinals pick up the win 34-19, and in doing so, they improve to 10-0 on the season, and the single-A postseason is set, as the rankings pretty much went as they were here from the coaches' top 8. It'll be Langdon Area-Munich hosting Hillsborough Central Valley a week from today here in Langdon for the first Saturday in November. And that game, again, will be the Burros and the Cardinals here a week from today. The Jags now finish the year 6-4 on the season. The Cardinals improve to 10-0. Post-game show is coming up around the corner next here on YourLiveVent.com.
New Solid Tech R floors deliver sustainable high performance from bottle to floor. They're PVC-free and made with natural stone and recycled single-use plastic for scratch-proof, flood-proof protection that stands up to all that your life demands. Because sustainability, beauty, and performance are at the heart of Solid Tech R floors.
Available at Carpet World, 17th Avenue South, online at carpetworldfargo.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Looking to tackle a big building project or a major fall cleanup? Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough has what you need. 40 dumpster roll-off boxes that are on hand, ready for rent. Need building materials? They'll deliver everything you need for your project and bring the dumpster at the same time for maximum convenience. If it's time for fall cleaning, rent a large dumpster and clear out your space with ease. For rentals of your dumpsters and building needs, your one-stop shop for your projects, Cywick Lumber and Hardware Hillsborough.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
As we come back on our post-game show here, the Cardinals able to, again, with the win, now 10-0 on the season, and they're 103-13 since 2016 here in high school football as well. That's 103-13, one heck of a stat for Coach Kravachka, as they had to earn this win here today over Northern Cass. Northern Cass, the story was the first half. Got down 14-0. Give credit, though, they were down 21-0 after a Davis 48-yard rushing touchdown, and instead of hanging their hats, they went to work and got it to a one-score game at 21-19, scoring the next 19 points in the game. And then the Cardinals able to put a drive together. Schaefer went the Philly special to Johnson for a 5-yard receiving touchdown with 7:37 left in the fourth quarter. And the Cardinals again picked up the win 34-19, and they will host Hillsborough Central Valley. It's now time to get to our play of the game and also our players of the game here in this one. And there's a couple of different areas where we can go here in this one. First, our player of the game brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com. The senior Jax Johnson able to compile here in this one 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, and one receiving and 2 passing with 257 yards of total offense for Johnson. Hudson Reichel went 25 of 44 for 328 yards and 4 touchdowns for Northern Cass. Make that 3 touchdowns for Northern Cass in the contest here, as they were able to find themselves with a loss here in this one, but not because of the opportunities that Northern Cass presented themselves with a couple of different facets. The kind of 1-2 players of the game, Jax Johnson here for the Cardinals, and Hudson Reichel for Northern Cass. Those 2 cats had themselves a whale of a football game here as the Cardinals again pick up the win by a final of 34-19 here in Langdon. We go from there to our Agassiz Precision Egg plays of the contest, and it's the pick 6 that really put this game away on a deflection. You had Stremick went 70 yards the other way for a house call, and that pretty much put the game away with about 1:30 left to play here in regulation. 34-19 at that particular point on the pick 6, and that was a good one for the Cardinals as well to score their 12th and eventually 13th point of the contest. The pick 6 brought to you in part by Agassiz Precision Egg, your play of the contest, your local precision planting dealer. Agassiz Precision Egg in Hillsborough. Call 701-436-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Our final stat line goes like this. The Cardinals here in this football game with 389 yards of offense. They had 125 yards, making 130 yards passing, 259 on the ground. Davis with 15 carries for $137 and a touchdown. And then he had 127 yards for Johnson on 23 carries as well. Leading receiver goes Schaefer, 5 catches for 118 yards and 2 scores here in this one. Johnson had a 5-yard receiving touchdown, and McDonald 1 catch for 7 yards, 7 penalties for 70 yards, and 1 turnover here for the Cardinals. The Jags did their damage through the air, 446 yards of total offense, 328 on the ground, as they had 328 through the air, as they had 118 yards on the ground. Hudson Rachel here was 25 of 47 for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also added 7 carries for 58 yards on the ground. Receivers, Brooks Crockett, 8 catches for 127 yards. Hoyland with 8 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown as well. Zeski, 13 carries, 57 yards here for Northern Cass and a touchdown. 6 penalties for 65 yards and 1 turnover here for Northern Cass in this contest. We'll take a break. When we come back after this, we'll take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard and get you ready for quarterfinal round matchups next week here on your LiveVet.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Imagine your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
As we come back on our post-game show, let's take a set and a wrap of what the NDHSAA Division A playoff bracket will look like coming up a week from today to open up the month of November. It's all seeded teams. Langdon Area-Munich will go up against Hillsborough Central Valley in the 1-8 matchup. Then you'll have number 4 seeded Velva Drake Animus Garrison against the number 5 seed of Park River. Number 2 seed Killdeer will go up against the number 7 seed of Dickinson Trendy. And number 3 seed Ellendale Edgeley Cullum will go up against the number 6 seed of Botno. All the higher seeds of Killdeer, EEK, Velva Drake, Animus Garrison, and Langdon Area-Munich will host next week. We will have coverage again with the Cardinals and the Burros here a week from today on yourliveevent.com. Go to our website to find out audio only or video. We'll have that for you throughout the week. But again, we will have coverage of the Burros and Cardinals here a week from today. For 9-man football, there was a couple of scores that were unseeded teams that eventually went on and won, but number 1 seed New Rockford Cheyenne will play Grant County Flasher as they go out to Divide County and beat the Maroons 48-13. Currently going on in 9-man football right now, Napoleon Gacko Streeter all over 4-seeded Alexander 30-6. So it looks like that region going to be out of teams here. If the Imperials can hang on in the fourth quarter, it'll be the Imperials going to Hankinson in the quarterfinals next week again with the number 5 seed. Number 2 seed Lemoore Litchfield Marion will have a date with number 7 seed Kidder County. And then you have number 3 seed Lytton HMB will play South Border between the Lions and the Mustangs after South Border went to North Border and won. So you will have 3 unseeded teams in 9-man football in the quarterfinals upcoming here next week. And again, it looks like Napoleon Gacko Streeter is going to beat Alexander, and they would go to Hankinson next week for high school playoff football in the quarterfinals. So that, again, is a look at what the 9-man and the 1A postseason will be upcoming here, again, a week from today as well. A lot of people to thank here in this one. Thanks to Coach Josh Kravachka. Thanks as well to head coach Tyler Eukstead for joining us on the pregame show. Obviously, a tough one from a Northern Cass perspective to come up short today as it is in any time you're in the playoffs, but this is one of those where there's not a moral victory, but with this program of where it was just a few years ago, winning a game or two in 2022 and 2023, going 1-8, last year going 3-6, this season going 6-4. A lot of good things will be moving here for Northern Cass in the right direction as they will go forward here for the Jags. Even a loss, you'll kind of circle it, say a lot of good things happen, hope to carry this into the offseason and see how he can continue to build this program. The seniors, they left a foundation, and those that are coming back will hope to carry it over going forward. Well, for the Cardinals, again, 10-0 on the year, as the number 1 seed survives in advance as they will play the number 8 seed in Hillsborough Central Valley next week. For more on high school playoff football, including Minnesota, and North Dakota postseason volleyball, simply go to our website again. That is yourliveevent.com. I'm Chase Miller, repeating tonight's final here in Langdon as the Cardinals win it 34-19 over the Jags. Thanks so much for joining us for high school football. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again next week for more high school sports here on your live event.